backyard. Sorry, I'm late. I originally said 3, and then I had this project I work on. I'm just getting some work done during COVID, quite literally during COVID, because I have COVID right now. I'll let you guys know about that. It's just, obviously not good, but I'm getting through it, thankfully, and feeling okay at the moment. Day 7 for me, so hopefully I'll be done soon. But just gonna do a little live stream from the backyard. I figured to try to keep myself from going insane after, obviously being isolated and stuff. I just wanted to talk to you guys, and hopefully some of you guys join on. That'd be awesome if you guys are free. And it's a beautiful day here in the DC area. Kind of my favorite kind of day. I honestly love this. It's like drizzling. It just started drizzling a little bit, but it's like basically not raining. And cloudy, and like 70, probably, maybe like 69, so 70, something like that. So like cool-ish, but also, humid. So it actually feels great. It feels like a tropical night. And our summers here are full-blown tropical, in the weather, because it's boiling hot. These ferns here, I don't know which species they are, but they're like an annual fern. They are deciduous, basically. They go dormant in winter, and they're just back up. I just noticed that. And let's check out the weather here. Here it says saying like 71, something around there, but nice and pleasant. And I'm just doing a quick stream, so I'll talk to you guys. You guys can answer questions, anything you guys want to say, go for it. It's just just here in the backyard. Nothing too special, but hopefully it's enjoyable, because I just want to do a quick stream. You can see my outdoor palms here, and again, my lens just atrocious quality. It works okay, and like I guess better when it's cloudy. I guess, I don't know, I took a thumbnail for this video. You just see that like general cloudiness, because the lens is cracked, and then it's all cloudy. And then like if I try to take a picture in sunlight, there's like spots on the lens. It's awful. And it's an iPhone. I'm using my iPhone. That's what I use to film every single one of my videos. Great quality, but just my lens is broken, so I gotta get a new one. I talked to people at the store. I went to the Apple store. It said $400 to get it replaced, and that's a lot of money. So I gotta, I don't know. I don't want to pay that. Obviously, I'm gonna try to talk to like Verizon or something. I think that's who I got this with, and see if there's some sort of, I don't know, either discount or see how it works. Anyways, so that's a long story. But hey, Gem State Tropics, great to hear from you. Greetings from Boise. I see, this is what I love. There's so many, I feel like especially during COVID, I don't know when you started your channel. I started mine during COVID, but so many people have started YouTube channels recently. I think I started mine in October of 2020. So right during COVID, and I had been meaning to for a while. And I feel like it just, maybe COVID, people had more time. People started watching a lot of YouTube videos. I just love how many new channels have sprung up. And maybe your channel is old. I've seen, I know your channel, but I just love it. I love seeing people from all over the country, all over the world, of course, trying out hardy palm growing. I think Boise, so there's a guy Southwest, he just posted his first video. You can go check him out, and I think he's going to post more. Southwest Hardy Palms, and he's in Salt Lake City. Such a cool climate. So interesting. He has gotten his trackies through 4 winters completely unprotected. And again, that's like, I don't know if you guys realize, but Salt Lake City is like actually right near Wyoming. It's quite close to Wyoming. And I always thought of Wyoming as like a zone 3 state. Obviously it's not all zone 3, but it's a pretty cold state. But obviously it varies a lot. And Salt Lake City is surprisingly warm. And I was gonna say, I think Boise is kind of similar to Salt Lake City in climate, maybe slightly colder, but very cool city. And I've just seen pictures of it. It looks incredibly beautiful. Idaho looks amazing. I would love to go there someday. And I've heard there's a few hardy palms around from people like you, Gem State Tropics. So that's awesome. I love it. Gem State, beautiful state. Z, is your camera off making any movement? No. And in fact, here, let me go show it to you guys, because in fact, this is a new Volvo, by the way. My parents got that, it's their car, and it's a cool car. It's like hybrid, plug-in hybrid. I don't understand. It's cool. It's like sort of electric car, but also runs on gas for like long distance. I guess like to sort of the option of both. It's a cool car, and yeah. So anyways, here's my camera ops, and I don't know. I mean, you could see when I let me try to not get thorns, but when I squeeze, see it's pretty soft, but I don't know. It's not making any movement. Neither, by the way, oddly enough, is my eucalyptus, which I would expect it to push out new growth by now. But you can see where I've scratched here. It seems pretty darn alive, and it still smells really strong of that eucalyptus smell. So even way up here, it still seems alive. You know, it's not like snap. I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, no, it's still pretty bendy. It's not like. Yeah, look at this. It's not like just snapping. So it's very odd. I would have expected a lot of new growth. My friend in Cincinnati, Cincy Tropics, his eucalyptus is already pushing out an insane amount of growth after it got completely knocked back. We'll just have to see. And again, maybe it's, you know, they're clearly not. Well, I mean, they're hardy here. There's a lot of big ones in the area. I don't know what happened with mine, but I've had quite a few losses this winter. But yeah, I might just have to replace it. Get like a eucalyptus neglecta or gunny eye or something. I really would love that. Yeah, no new movement here. I'm hoping maybe one of these suckers will push something out. Jeez, there's like a caterpillar in there. Let's try to look at this. Oh no, this sucker's completely gone. I just pulled the spear out. This thing is totally rotten. And that's a small enough sucker. There's no way there's live tissue in there. Yeah, camera ops might be looking like a goner. And again, this is a terrible spot for it. I put it here because it's sunny, but in retrospect, you know, it's pretty exposed out in the yard. So there's always things you got to think about. I want to try the Cerifera, which is a blue form, which is hardier. So, yeah. Sorry, let me see this. I actually started mine just now. Oh, you did? Gem State Tropics. That's awesome. Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought I recalled you as a newer channel. Do you have any videos? I guess if you do, I don't know. I feel like I've seen videos of someone growing palms in the Boise area, but I don't know if that was you. Because I've heard from you. I feel like you commented on some of my videos before. But that's really awesome. I love it. And it's just such a cool, like, I don't know, this whole, like, I guess, I don't know how high elevation Boise is, but there's sort of like inland desert, high elevation areas. I think there's such cool areas for palm experimenting and hardy, like Salt Lake City, Boise, such an interesting climate, I think, to sort of start pushing that palm growing zone inland. Yeah. Anyways. The thing I always thought about, which is kind of crazy, is like, imagine if these cities where we live, DC, Salt Lake City, cities where you can grow palms, had actually known that and like planted them everywhere. Like, imagine if they had lined streets. I know it's kind of hard to line streets with Sable Minor, but like, imagine if I mean, Sable Birmingham, Sable, maybe, I'm gonna assume Brazoria does pretty well too. If theoretically, if we had planted like a bunch of Brazoria, like lining the street, or Birmingham, like 50 years ago, we'd have like tall trunking sables lining the streets here in DC, obviously, if that had happened. So it's just always something that's so interesting to think about. You know, if people had actually known. I wish they had. This one seedling back here, this is it's still got green in it, but that is interesting. That might actually be a, I don't know. I mean, it's odd that it's like dying back there. You see that white seedling on the left? That could be a Camerops. Now, I found a lot of, because I chucked a bunch of Camerops seed back here thinking nothing of it, and I made a video. This one's recovering nicely. This does not look, I didn't plant this, and the only other seed I scattered here, to the best of my memory, besides Sable Minor, which you can see there, oh, those are palmetto that I just planted, but Sable Minor all over there naturalizing, is Camerops, because I got a bunch of Camerops seed. I'm like, I'm not going to try to grow these here. This looks like a Camerops humula. It's definitely not Sable Minor. No way it's Sable Minor. Look how green that is. I don't know. I mean, it's kind of whitish. Doesn't look like washy. Those are the only other seeds I've even collected, and I didn't throw any of them in the yard. Really looks like Camerops to me. Doesn't look like Trachea either. It looks a little bit... Let me find a Trachea seedling for comparison. These are my Trachea seedlings for my friend Caleb in Oregon, doing absolutely awesome. And I don't know, just looks a little bit almost lighter green than Fortunae, which is kind of interesting because Fortunae is a pretty light green. You can see this one growing here. But very interesting. We'll just have to see. I guess time will tell if somehow it makes it that long. Lots of seedlings pushing out here that I've planted recently. All of these are growing like super fast. These are Fortunae, I believe. I'm getting the Fortunae in I have Sable Birmingham in here somewhere that I grew from that big specimen in DC. Now I'm getting them confused. But anyway, sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I always do this. I talk and then I neglect your comments, so I'm going to start reading through them. Yeah, no, Camerop's not making any movements yet, sadly. I think it might sadly be a goner, which which surprised me. When it first got spear pull, it was still pretty green, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I really want to get a Serifera. That was my first palm, the very first palm I ever bought. So it's pretty sad to lose that Camerops. Yeah, very first palm, I think 2 summers ago. Yeah, 2 summers ago. The very first palms I planted in the ground was this Fortunae and another Fortunae, which also died, sadly. But it didn't die because of cold damage. Exactly, it did die because of cold damage, but it died because, you know, it was my first palm I planted. I planted it like in November, so I had no idea that you're supposed to plant it before winter. I was very not knowledgeable, and I'm still, you know, I'm still learning, let's say. But I've learned a lot over these past couple of years. During COVID, I've, you know, obviously it's my main interest, so I've been doing a lot of, I guess you could say, research, watching videos of all people's channels and everything, and yeah. Should make it. Oh God, yeah. Jonathan, by the way, sorry, Jonathan. It's great to see you on here. My friend Jonathan. I don't know. I think you were telling me about some cool palms in Occoquan, Virginia. Occoquan, beautiful small town. It's across the river from DC and a little bit south. And they have a lot of trackies planted there, apparently. A lot were killed by some of the bad freezes, but they have a lot planted in front of one of the public pools there. They actually have publicly planted Trachycarpus fortunei there, which is a rarity. And I think it's the only example of like multiple planted out together, like as like a landscape feature, which is pretty darn cool. So I need to get down there and check that out. But I do want to do another trip to Virginia Beach. For those of you who don't know, I'm still quite young. I actually haven't gotten my driver's license yet, but I'm getting it in like a few weeks, I think like a month or a little less. So that's exciting, and I will, once that happens, I will be well, if I have, you know, driver's autonomy, I can, you know, theoretically, I want to, you know, my dream was like to, like, every weekend drive down to Virginia Beach. Now that's a little crazy because it's like 3.5 hours, but who knows? I mean, if I've got a lot of free weekends, I honestly would like to do a lot of road trips down to Virginia Beach. And speaking of Virginia Beach, these are my Virginia Beach grown sable palmetto seedlings. They got kind of crushed when I hit them with the jet. The water, unfortunately, was really high pressure, so that didn't help. But they're doing awesome, and they've exploded with growth. I feel like even since being in the ground, like a few weeks now, a lot of growth out of these beautiful, beautiful seedlings. Awesome to have them here. But anyways, yeah, I definitely want to get down to Virginia Beach and go back to what's it called? Pungo palms, because that place is amazing. I got to restock, and I got to get a new needle palm. My needle palm, I know they're sensitive when they're young. I'm convinced that it wasn't cold damage that killed my needle palm. You know, it only got down to like 12, 14 Fahrenheit. I know that maybe that could damage a young needle palm. I really don't think it was. Multiple people were suggesting that it was moles, which I think is actually kind of likely. I saw some softness around the roots. It was sort of like some holes in the soil around it. And I've also seen a lot of moles. That's the only area of my house that I've seen moles, is that area literally right next to the needle palm. So I think it was something else, but I would like to get another one. Obviously, I want a needle palm. How's your tequil doing? Trevor Joyce, you know, my tequil is the only trackies now without spear pull, besides that big one, of course. This one's got spear pull. Is there spear there? Doesn't look like it. I don't know. We'll see. This one I'm hoping recovers. This one I'm convinced will recover because it was doing great, and you could just see how nice and green it is. Beautiful. This is a Fortunae wagnerianus, and then my tequil. Not only does it not have spear pull, 0 damage at all. Looks fantastic. Absolutely gorgeous. And then you see this beautiful silvery backside. I hope the camera catches it. Again, you know my camera's kind of bad quality, but gorgeous. I'm convinced this is true tequil. After I had no idea what true tequil really looked like beforehand. Done some research, and I've seen some videos of them in the wild. And also, you know, a lot of young specimens. Really does look like true tequil. Definitely not Fortunae. Doesn't look like Martianus, Princeps, any of those. Beautiful, and you can see the spear is just so incredibly firm, and you can see just starting to open. So yeah, very healthy, doing awesome. And I mean, look. Wagnerianus was both of these first growing seasons, and this one obviously had the advantage because it's bigger. Wagnerianus may be a little less hardy than Fortunae, so that is understandable, but I think, you know, proves that tequil is more hardy. This one was stunted from last winter, so it wasn't exactly a level playing field. It's also smaller, but tequil is at least proving its hardiness, and I think this will be a good test. Imagine if this thing flowers and I could get hybrid tequil Fortunae seed. That would be pretty amazing. Because, yeah, you guys see what's happening every day. It's changing. The flowers keep opening up. Beautiful, beautiful. Apparently they're female flowers, so I was not knowledgeable about that. I don't know identify the flowers because they almost never flower here. There's only a few examples. I mean, they flower actually a lot here. I just never really look at the flowers. And it's, they don't produce seed here a lot because you need male and female. Yes. Z, actually, that's a good idea. I think one of these days I am just going to cut through that camera ops trunk. One of these days might even be tomorrow. That's a really good idea. I was thinking of that, but I was just like sort of waiting. It's no use waiting. I mean, that sucker's a goner. That main trunk looks like it. That's a great idea. I think it's what I'm going to do. You just have to cut through. Hey, Palm Tree Dude, great to see you on here. Really appreciate you joining in. We got some good people in here. We got a good group in here. Obviously, it's awesome to see all you guys on here. Really appreciate that. Camera ops looks like my small needle palm. Oh, Trevor, yeah. My camera ops looks like my small needle palm, which is also, took the... Now, Trevor, do you think yours was from cold damage? Because mine, I don't think it was... Let's just say I don't think it was only from cold damage. They cut away the rest of Southern Magnolia here. It was what tall Southern Magnolia here. All that growth, I guess, under the snow or something, snapped over the fence here, but it's still growing well. It's my neighbor's yard, but nice. So this is mountain laurel, I think, by the way. This one's just mysteriously dying. I know there's like some disease going around, but really weird. It's like this like rust. I don't know what it's called, but it's like spotting. Beautiful native evergreen here that grows along the streams. One of my favorite native species. Super cool. But yeah, no, this is my only needle palm. Little bit of green here on the petioles, I guess, but like no spears left in any of these three main suckers. I think there was two suckers, I should say, and then I think there was a third sucker somewhere that, I don't know. I don't see any growth out of this thing. Yeah, it really does. I mean, the soil's soft, it's leaning. I'm convinced there's gotta be something else at play here. Look at this. Look at this. There's like a hole down there. Not a great spot. Sable minor, you can see a little bit of this sort of weird coloration that happens sometimes, but big mature frond with 4 prong. This thing didn't move at all. Super slow growing, but hopefully this season it'll open up. And then you got another mature-ish frond here. Pretty mature looking frond there opening up, so that's exciting. I might actually move this back once it gets growing a little bit, because if this thing starts expanding, it's gonna go way into the yard. So yeah, that's sort of the story. Gem State Tropics, awesome. You have 2 videos. I need to check that out. I thought I was subscribed to you. I think I am, but if not, obviously I will. And I gotta check that out. That's awesome. Yeah, Gem State Tropics. Gem State is Idaho, so that's he's in the Boise area, or I don't know. Yeah, that's really cool. Your camera up. Hi from Netherlands, Tropicals. Hey, thanks for joining in. Netherlands, that's awesome. I love that. There are a lot of palm growers in the Netherlands, and I got to tell you, you have a speed in terms of climate. Netherlands is nice and mild, kind of like I don't know how to describe Netherlands. I mean, it's like the UK a lot, like the southern UK. I don't know if you guys can grow like Phoenix canariensis there and washies without protection, but beautiful Trachycarpus there, nice and mild in the Netherlands. That's awesome. Yeah, it is always bad to lose palms. It's never good, and again, hopefully some of these will start recovering. Trackies, I have some hope in. Needle palm, I don't know. Camera ops looking more like a goner, but we gotta, keep up hope. And if they die, obviously that's a very sad thing always. But it's part of the learning process. I don't mean that to say like, just palms will die. It's totally fine. I mean, it's always sad, but it is part of the, it doesn't make it better, but it helps us learn a lot, and it will happen. I think it'll almost always happen. You got to be really lucky to not have it happen in like a zone 7 or zone 6 climate. We're zone 7A, 7B. Planting more marginal palms like camera ops, you might have some losses unless you're investing in some heavy protection. Camera ops, they can make it here with lighter protection. I didn't give it any protection, which was a mistake. There are some large palmettos in Franklin, Virginia. Oh, wow. I haven't been on Facebook in so long because I've been so busy. I'm just starting to catch up now, but that's really cool. I feel like I've heard of that place. There's like a trachy farm somewhere out near there. There's actually a Trachycarpus nursery. This is really strange I forget what it's called, but some town. It's right on the North Carolina border in Virginia, in the very middle of the state. So it's like the very southern part of the state, but in the middle, east to west. longitude-wise. But it is, like, there's, like, a bunch of trackies planted on, like, this one, I don't even want to call it a block. It's, like, just, like, a street with, like, a few houses in the middle of nowhere, some tiny town in, like, rural Appalachian, Virginia, sort of, like, in the Piedmont, I guess. And it was crazy. I mean, you guys can look up, like, I think it's called Danville, Virginia. Is it Danville? Yeah, maybe Danville. I don't know. That's really cool, though. Franklin, that's awesome. Hey, Palm Nation. I don't read Hebrew, unfortunately, but I assume that says something like hello or shalom. I don't know. I don't read Hebrew, unfortunately. I used to take Hebrew lessons, but unfortunately, no. I don't actually read Hebrew. I wish I did. It's a cool skill to have. I mean, like my parents and stuff. A lot of people read Hebrew, but can't actually understand it. I can't do any of that. So, yeah. Anyways. But yeah, good to see you on here, Palm Nation. That's awesome. So far, I have 100% for survival rate with Washingtonians unprotected. That's pretty darn cool. That is pretty darn cool. I saw your Washingtonia robusta. It looked pretty darn good for a Tennessee winter. That's pretty insane that it survived there. Now, how do you think my Folifera will do it? Hey, here, let me get through the comments, then I'll get back to that. They'll recover. Tropicals, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. I hope they will. This one's still nice and green, and this, I think, just previously had died. But it's nice and green. The only thing that worries me is that this trunk is so small that, it looked pretty mushy in there. I hope there's a lot of growth. I hope there's still some sort of live tissue down there. I mean, you can see it's got some trunk, but I just don't know how much live tissue there is in there. Let's just hope that it will. This one I'm more confident in, so I'll keep you updated. Yeah, thank you, by the way. I really appreciate that. Yeah, you need a Rostrata. Oh, Yucca Rostrata. I love a Yucca Rostrata. There's huge ones here that I have videos of. Up to all the way to New England, they're huge ones, and DC area is no exception. There's huge ones down in the Smithsonian. I would love a Yucca Rostrata. I don't have any Yucca. I just have too small of a yard. It's my parents' yard, obviously. I'm still in high school, so yeah. 3-year-old Sable's finally going palmate. Hey, Z, that's awesome. My sables are, my one in the front is going palmate, and then this one, look at this, got its first 3 or 4 leaflet fronds. So that's pretty exciting. Finally going palmate. That's awesome. I love it. We do have serious winters. We can't grow Washingtonia. Got it. Okay. Yeah, I guess because it's like further east than the UK. You guys don't. It's interesting, though. You're, like, south of, like, London. You're south of the UK, but I guess maybe just because it's east. I would have thought you guys were, like, the same as at least, like, central England, but I don't know. Oh, -15. Wow. Because the Netherlands is, like a very low-lying country. Very little hills and stuff. But that's interesting. Charlie Carver's nursery is near Smithfield. Okay, got it. 'Cause along the James River. Huh, is that the same one? Yeah, I'm talking about another one. I think it's in Danville, Virginia. Literally this tiny town, middle of Virginia, right on the North Carolina border. I was amazed that I saw this, like, what I assume are unprotected trackies in this tiny town in Virginia. Growing, there's like a nursery building with a bunch of trackies. Then they're like planted at some of the other homes on this, like, it's like a tiny intersection with a few homes near this tiny town. Smithfield, Virginia. That's cool. Is Smithfield in southeastern Virginia? Yeah, it must be if it's on the James. That's cool. I do know that one you're talking about. That was the first one I was talking about. The one you're talking about, yeah, one sucker on my small needle pond that might make it. Okay, Trevor, yeah. Why it looks like demolished. God, around mid-November. Oh, you didn't plant. Wait, was it in a pot or was it planted? That really sucks. I'm so sorry to hear about that, Trevor. Yeah, I hope the sucker recovers. But yeah. Always watching your... Oh, thank you so much, Tropicals. That means a lot. I really appreciate that. And do you have a YouTube channel? Because I want to see that. I've seen videos of palms in the Netherlands because there's some really nice ones there. People don't realize that, but there are great palms in the Netherlands. Nice and mild climate, even if you can't grow washies. You guys can grow trackies, sables, even though they're hard to come by, I'm sure. But that's really cool. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Danville could probably grow... Yes, exactly. Yeah, it's not in the mountains. It's like sort of in the Piedmont, just... right smack in the middle of Virginia, right on the North Carolina border. Yeah. Folifera would die fast here. It's way too wet. Yeah, that's what I was worried about. I was wondering if, like, I always thought about, like, putting one in, like, a pot and then putting it and sinking it into the ground so that it would like sort of stay, not like root bound, but it would just stay small somehow, and then put like a glass cover over it. Like that's what Tropical PDX does in Oregon, and his made it well. Like, do you think if I just put like a cover over it, like a, not like wrapped it, but put it like a glass cover to keep all the rain out, it would die? Because I know our winters, they're not exactly humid, but they are wet. You know, there's wetness in the air, I guess. I don't know. I always wondered how that would do. So, I mean, hey, I have so many washies in this pot that are going to become, I mean, like in a year, these things will be like going palmate. These things will be huge. They've grown like weeds. So I can do whatever, you know, I got a ton of them to spare. So I could put some I might put some in the ground unprotected, put some in the ground with minimal protection, do some little trials, because that'd be pretty cool. So yeah, those are pure foliferous seed. The sad thing is I got them from the Thousand Palms Oasis, which is down near Palm Springs. So it's like super mild there. You could probably grow a coconut even in a protected spot there. And then I went to this other oasis more recently, which is up in the mountains. It was literally like 39 degrees when I was there. And I was there in like March or something. It was freezing. And I was at a wild Washingtonia oasis in the desert near Palm Springs, but it's like way up in the mountains in the desert, probably like 4,000 feet. So it was freezing, and I was like, those are probably some hardy Folifera, but I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I already had seed, but I should have gotten the hardier seed. I would love to try Filibusta, because those are supposedly have the best qualities of both. And there's a huge one in Fayetteville, North Carolina, which is obviously a ways down the coast. So that would mean I would need to, you know, protection is definitely necessary here. But there's lots of seedlings around that palm, huge palm in Fayetteville, North Carolina, unprotected. So I would love to get seed from that. Do you have any plans to plant some beautiful yuccas? I just don't have enough room. I obviously I'm still at my parents' place, obviously, because I'm still in school, but I only have this really back place to plant, and I have a little cactus bed, but I just don't think I have room for like a big trunking yucca as much as I'd love one. I don't know. I mean, I would love one, but I want to start investing in some cacti, get a real hardy eucalyptus. Cinery is pretty hardy, but yeah. Have many in my garden. That's tropicals. I feel like I might have actually seen pictures of your garden. I don't know if it was your garden or someone else's, but someone posted a picture in the Netherlands of some crazy looking exotic garden that was like amazing looking, like crazy cacti, lots of yucca. That might have been yours. It was like, I think it was on Palm Talk or somewhere, maybe Facebook. Yeah. Like my area is borderline rainforest. We get the same rainfall. Wow. That's crazy. Wow. I love that. Yeah, there's rainforest ecosystems, and you're also not that far. I mean, I guess it's sort of a different ecosystem, but you know, the Appalachian temperate rainforest up in the Smokies, that's a true rainforest. That's like a temperate rainforest though, which obviously gets pretty cold, but that is so cool. When I went there, it was literally like it was a lot like the Pacific Northwest, lots of conifers. Unfortunately, the hemlocks were dying, but you know, mountain laurel lining the streams, rhododendron everywhere. It was like a jungle. It was amazing. And on and off rainfall and lots of mist, sort of like the tropics, but obviously colder climate. My Dallas, wow, palm tree, that's awesome. Yeah, that's just like mine. Mine are finally starting to go palmate. That's so awesome. They immediately, and I think the roots might have frozen due to not being in the ground. Okay, yeah. I dug a hole for large needle palm, which I then placed. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, they might have frozen, yeah. God, I'm sorry to hear about that, Trevor. But that's awesome. Trevor's in the DC area, just like me, and experimenting with a lot of exotic plants, a lot of palms, and I love that. That's awesome. He's just about like the same, just north of the DC area, very similar latitude, very similar climate as me. Have to head out now, but always. All right, Gem State Tropics, thank you so much. It was so great to see you on here, and I really appreciate that. Yeah, exactly. Oh, thank you so much. That's so kind. And I got to check out your videos, because that's really cool. And I just think Boise and Idaho generally is such a new frontier for palm growing. So yeah, I got to check that out. That's awesome. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much. Trevor, bigger needle palm did a lot better. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, they always do a lot better. It's amazing. I think the key is just buying a big needle palm, even if it's like 100. Even, I mean, in the DC area, it might be like several $100 more, like $200 more if it's a lot bigger. I think it's honestly worth it because of how much growing that takes. I mean, $200 more for a needle palm that's like 5 times as big. You know how much growth Excuse me. They take a while to grow. So in my opinion, that's kind of can be worth it. Yeah, so I'm looking for one. There's a guy in Rockville, which is north of here, in Montgomery County. He moved from, I don't really understand. He moved from his old house, but there's a needle palm there. He sent me a picture, gorgeous, big 4 or 5 foot needle palm. And he's offered it to me for free if I go dig it out with him. And that's like the greatest deal ever, obviously. And he contacted me. He hasn't gotten back. Well, he hasn't, you know, when I write him, he writes me. So it's good. I might do a follow up, but he's in contact with the owners. He said they were gone when he went back, but I think he's going to ask the owners if I can dig it out. And then he said there was a Brazoria there that like he left right in like one of the bad winters and he wasn't sure if he made it, but huge needle palm. So that is pretty darn exciting. So if I can get one like that, that'd be pretty cool. Pindo palm has finally gotten out of transplant. That's awesome. DC5V. That's all. You're in North Georgia, right? North of it, Atlanta, that area. That is awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I'm sorry you got transplant shock, but I'm glad to hear it's growing. Stuffing plants in our yard. Yeah, that's what I want to do, palm tree dude. That's what I'm trying back here. I mean, you see all the seedlings I got in here. I want to get some larger palms as well. Copen map needs more options. I know, seriously. Yes, exactly. South Carolina's really dry in some places. And then also, they've had a pretty severe drought. People don't realize that the South, you know, think of it as like this wet subtropical climate. They've had a pretty severe drought in North Carolina, South Carolina last year. That area of the Southeast, bad drought. Like, you know, almost in like percentage-wise levels of out west. It's just not as bad because it's a wetter climate generally. So, but no, I mean, those pine savannas, you know, that's kind of what savanna is. You know, savannas are generally areas of pretty lower rainfall, I should say. So, yeah, they should have more. And also DC and Cincinnati, which are both included as subtropical in Copen, definitely not. We're not subtropical. My friend Sander put it well. He said we're sort of like a gateway to the subtropics. I think he's how he put it, and I totally agree with that. We're sort of like transitional, not subtropical at all. But you know, you go north of here, you're clearly up in the cold north, and then you go south of here, you're clearly in the subtropics once you get down to southeastern Virginia. So it's a transition zone sort of, but definitely temperate, not tropical. Actually, I'm closer to Biloxi. Wow, is that right? Closer to Biloxi. That's on the Gulf Coast. That's crazy. Okay, well, yeah. I guess you were in Eastern Tennessee. I was just, yeah. I guess Tennessee's a really wide state. I mean, it is obviously, but that's really cool. Wow, you're right near Mississippi. I remember. Our live oak. Oh, that's awesome, palm tree dude. Ice would snap at it. Yeah, exactly. It wasn't a mild winter. No, it was for my camera ops. You know, I feel like it wasn't the best winter to start it off, but yeah, that's that's awesome to hear, palm tree dude. I'm glad to hear that your live oak is doing well because that's a really nice young one that you have. He grew from seed. That is so cool. I have never grown. I've never grown certainly a live oak from seed. I'm trying to think what else besides palms I've grown from seed. Sorry, there's gotta be something else, but yeah, I've never grown live oak, but I wanted to. I want to get one. I really don't have the room here though. Yes, Virginia Beach live oaks there are amazing. That's so cool. Getting kind of worried about it, and I'm relieved. I'm really glad. DC5V, that's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Stay in touch with the Rockville guy. That sounds real. I know. I believe me. I wrote him like a few months ago after it had been a few months because he said he'd go back like in summer to check on it, and I wrote him like a few months later just to make sure he still was checking his, you know, all of his stuff, and he got right back to me and said, you know, I just have yet to go back there. I think he lives in this somewhere towards you, Trevor. I think he lives somewhere out there, maybe in near Silver Spring or something, maybe a little bit east of there, but he still lives in the DC area. But I don't really understand how that works. If you can go back to your former house and ask if he can dig up a plant. I mean, obviously you could do that, but it's contingent on the owner saying yes. Do you know why he wants to get rid of it? He wants to get rid of it because he doesn't live there anymore. He moved away. I don't know why. I mean, if I were him, I'd just ask the owner to dig it up myself. But he's being very generous to me, extremely generous. And he just contacted me one day randomly on Facebook. Never heard from him before. And he said, I have this needle palm in Rockville. And I jumped at the opportunity. I was like, yes. I really would love that. I mean, a huge needle palm, that size, 4 or 5 feet. It's like this nice bush. Excuse me. I gotta get some water. That can cost, I mean, the DC area, that can cost easily probably $250, easily. And, I mean, he's offering that to me for free, literally for just going and digging it up. That's pretty darn amazing. Yeah. So he doesn't live there anymore. That's why he's offering it up. He just, I guess, knew it was there, and then he's gonna contact the owner. I love pine savannas too. I know. Yeah, the palm tree dude. You know, I took that crazy 17-hour drive back from Florida, Miami, when all the flights were canceled. I don't know if you remember that, but every flight was canceled because of weather to the north. I couldn't believe it. Every airport in Florida, we were thinking about driving to Charlotte, North Carolina, or driving to like Orlando and flying home, or Tampa or something. Every single flight was canceled, so we just drove all the way home. I had to get home for school the next day. Got in literally at 4 a.m., and then classes started at 8 a.m. So I got like 3 hours of sleep. That was a rough night, but you know what? Totally worth it. I got some sleep in the car also, and you know, all the drive in the sun, you know, before the sun went down, it was all through palm country. So you got to see that the ecosystem changing. You know, in Florida, it's sort of like as you go north, you go south in terms of like, you know, when you start in the very south of Florida, it's like the tropics. Then you go north, it's like going into what people generally think of as the south, you know, smaller towns, more, you know, pine savanna, subtropical, and you got all those pine savannas. It's like perfectly spaced pines with those Sereno repens, and also a lot of sable minor. It was amazing. It was so cool, and palmettos as well. I love that too. Yeah, I'm down in the Gulf. Yeah, land of the sables. That's right. That is Palm Nation. You're able to tolerate the humidity down there. I just cannot take it. Mind you, when it's 100 and humid, I'm glad because my palms are doing well, and it's not like, I don't know. For me, I'm just used to it. It's not like, oh my God, this is hell. Like when it's like 10 degrees out. But it is pretty darn hot, and I do not like the humidity. LA weather, you know, 70, 75, and sort of cool the whole year. That's my kind of weather. Excuse me. If you're ever passing through North Carolina, you should go to see the Bragg Boulevard. Yes, that's exactly the one. The Bragg Boulevard. I guess that's it. Yeah, that's the washi I was talking about. See the filibusta there, and there's also actually, believe it or not, Palm Nation. There's a filifera. It looks to be pretty pure filifera. Literally like 30 feet, unprotected, on the Outer Banks, which is crazy. Like literally not that far south of Virginia Beach. That has just stunned my mind because it's not filibusta, or if it is, it's pretty filifera dominant. Out in the Outer Banks. That's pretty darn crazy. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Hey, I hope you're not doing. I hope you're doing well. Noticing a lot of people. Oh, a lot of people getting COVID. Yeah, at school also. It's not good. It's I have asthma, so it it's you know, it's yeah, it's you really feel it in the lungs. I'll say. I've been coughing a lot and just feeling sick, but I'm on the mend now. But just cough, a lot of coughing mostly now. Yeah, a lot of people getting COVID. COVID, yeah, COVID, yeah. No, it's COVID, yeah, Trevor. It's not pollen, unfortunately. Oh, and Pranav, you're in the DC area, right? You're somewhere in the DC area, right? Oh yeah, I didn't understand what. Yeah, I thought you were making a joke when you said COVID, but I didn't understand what that was. But okay, yeah, got it. Yeah, no, it is COVID. Yeah, it is really muggy out. It actually, I feel like over like the past 10 minutes, maybe it's just COVID, but I feel like it's gotten hotter out. It was like cool when I came out. Definitely in the 70s now and humid. Really nice day, to be honest. I mean, all things considered, not like summer here. Summer's baking and humid. Always look out for the ecosystem changing when we drive anywhere. That's awesome. Yeah, that's, I was reading your next comment as I was reading that, so that's why I said that's awesome. I was saying that's awesome. You said I'm studying ecology. That's really cool. I would love to study, like, I don't know, botany or if that's a course, but ecology is super cool. And yeah, I'd love to study that. That's awesome. And yeah, I always look for the ecosystems as well, driving north from Miami. Excuse me. I mean, you go past development for so much, so it's hard to sort of tell. But then once you get to rural Florida, the Palm Coast, as they call it, it really starts to change and stuff to the subtropics. And yeah, no, it's really cool. It also is like really weirdly, like a lot of north central Florida is like a lot of temperate forest, like, excuse me, not temperate forest, deciduous forest. I don't know why I'm saying temperate forest. So like you drive through it, and a lot of the areas legitimately looked a lot like DC. You wouldn't see a lot of palms, and you're just driving through a highway with a bunch of deciduous trees. Now it was like, sorry, they come back so early there that that the trees are green so early there that I was there in like March, and it already basically it already seemed like summer almost. But you know, it's crazy. I mean, and then you go north, it's like all pines. But some of Florida, you know, it's pretty deciduous dominant. It looks a lot like the DC area, which is kind of interesting, with the addition of Spanish moss and palms, of course. Heat index was 112 on Thursday. Oh my god. 112. I don't think it's ever gotten that hot when we're here. I think the hottest like I've ever experienced here is like 105 or something. That is insane. In spring, not even summer. Summer's like supposed to be like 150 where you are. No. The hottest temperature ever is 134. 112 is only 22 degrees colder. That's crazy. Yeah, I know. Falifera by the beach. And there's also some excuse me. There's also some pictures of pretty pure looking Falifera in southern North Carolina, which is obviously a lot warmer, but still, I mean, I would have thought the humidity would have done something to them. It's interesting, like in South Florida, Miami, you see a good amount of Robusta. No Falifera I saw, but you know, it's interesting in Florida. They seem to do well in parts of Florida, maybe more in North Florida where it gets a little cooler, but yeah. That's what tech companies do. Which, yeah. Yes. Oh, you're talking about the flights, yeah. 96%. Yeah, Palm Tree. I think my school's 100% vaccinated. I believe they might have even required it. I don't know. But yeah, I mean it's yeah. People forgot about it until everyone started testing positive, and some people are, I guess, fine from the vaccine. I mean, fine from the vaccine. Everyone's fine from the vaccine, but people are, I guess, fined because of the vaccine from COVID. And then some people are still getting obviously very sick from COVID with the new variants and stuff. But yeah, no, it's I gotta tell you, for me, I'm, you know, being vaccinated. You know, I don't want to get all into that. But you know, it makes COVID, obviously COVID's better. You know, it makes the symptoms less severe. But for me, still, I don't know which variant it is that I caught, but it I guess with the asthma, some people felt nothing. You know, it feels like certainly like a sickness. I'll say it's maybe not as bad as for excuse me, for some older people, but yeah, no, it's serious. West Tennessee summers. Oh yeah. No, Palm Nation. I gotta tell you, I honestly, being Miami, it was like 84, 83 and humid. That wasn't. It was more bearable. I'm getting more used to it, and I'm starting to like the humidity more because of what I associate with it. You know, warm climates and stuff. But yeah, no, it would certainly be an experience. I would love to. Hey, I'd love to make it down there someday, Palm Nation, and check it out. It seems like a beautiful area. You got sables. You got some saw palmetto. I think you showed me huge sable palmetto near you. Pretty darn cool climate, if you ask me. I really like that. My full major technically is biological. Wow, biological sciences, ecology, evolution, and behavioral. That is really cool, Palm Tree dude. That is something I'd love to study. Oh yes, I'm in chemistry right now in school, and gotta tell you, biology. I don't care if it's memorization. That stuff's good. Chemistry, with all the, you know, I'm not as strong of a math student. Chemistry, not my strong suit. It's like I'm taking 2 math classes right now. I do not enjoy that. Apparently, you're not like technically allowed to take, not allowed. You're not technically required to take all 4 years of math and chemistry. I think you take like 3 years of like one of them. But that's what most kids, I think, like, do it. I don't really understand how it works, but anyways. Sorry guys, I'm gonna run inside for 1 second. So don't go anywhere. I'm gonna try to prop up the camera, at least get a nice shot. You can see my palm hat, by the way. I'll show you guys this really quickly. Palm hat, and then check this out. Palm shirt. Look at that. I don't like to show my face sometimes. I don't know. I mean, I have in some of my pictures, but I'll just show you guys the shirt view for now. Anyways, the palms are more interesting, but yeah, you guys see coconut palm with the waves. That's a pretty darn cool shirt. Got that for Hanukkah, actually. And You see this palm hat. This is my pride and joy. You know, I'm very attached to this hat. I bring it everywhere. So if you guys meet me, I may have the hat. But let me just get that view there, and then I'll get back to your guys' comments in just a second. I'm going to go grab a tissue. I'll be right back. Grab a sip of water. Yeah, no, COVID is serious. It is. I I can tell you firsthand. It's something. I'll see you guys in 1 second. Hey guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. I got my water. We got this local liquor store gave us this for free. 2018 World Championships. Little Caps. The Caps are the local hockey team, and I'm not a huge sports person. I'm more of a palm person, as you guys may know. But my brother plays hockey. My my dad likes to watch it. So I saw the game last night. They're unfortunately out of the series. That's why I never ever talk sports, but. Yeah, just they are unfortunately out of the playoffs now. They just lost, I guess, their final game against Florida Panthers, I believe. And yeah, it's sad, but they won the Stanley Cup 3 years ago, I guess 4 years ago, 2018. And so that's pretty exciting. They're good team. They've got Ovechkin, one of the best players. So, anyways. One of my best friends. Yes, it's a real addiction around here, just like the Nats, Caps. They got abbreviations for everything. The Nats are the Nationals, our local baseball team, who also won a few years ago, which is like 2 years ago. It was exciting. A good couple years for DC sports, I guess. That's really cool, Palm Tree, that you're studying that. That sounds like something that very much interests me, minus the chemistry, I guess, as well, yeah. Did you see the humidity in Albuquerque? Wow. Minus 22 fair. Oh, my God. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, it's very, very, very low humidity out in Albuquerque, but that's really crazy. I know, like, LA, sometimes they get up pretty high. I don't actually, like, monitor humidity that much. I never know the humidity levels here. I just never really look at it that much. Because, you know, when it's warm, it's warm. It doesn't really, it's mostly when it's cold when I'm monitoring everything. You know, is it raining? Is it this, that? You know, every little temperature degree matters in those, you know, couple days where it's, like, in the teens every winter. Yeah, no, Albuquerque's a fascinating place for a lot of reasons. You got Breaking Bad there, so that's cool. But it's fascinating palm-wise. Because it's like sort of where you start to see washies coming in. It's like one of those places that washies really shouldn't be. And again, I never, you know, I don't mean like no one should grow washies. No, I mean, they absolutely should be there. They should plant them a lot more. The city doesn't really plant them a lot. They should plant them everywhere. But I mean, it's like one of those places, like if you look at it on paper, it shouldn't be you know, it's the temperatures there are crazy. It's colder than the DC area on the average winter day. I mean, throughout the winter, the duration is colder. It's zone 7A in parts of the city, zone 6B in the northern parts of the metro area. And you have big washies there. I mean, it's crazy. But it's just because it's dry winter. It makes all the difference that you can have Fallifera out there. And again, Robusta are more hardy in wet climates, less hardy in dry climates. So you'll never, ever have a chance of growing Robusta there. St. George, Utah, which is warmer, there you start being able to grow Robusta a bit, but not a chance in Albuquerque. Fallifera thrive there, and it's pretty darn amazing. Fascinating palm growing place. And there's some other palms. There's some needles, trachys, a few of them. There was a date palm there even that got kind of fried, and then I think they took it out. But yeah, there was a couple date palms there. Very interesting. Yeah. And Pranav, you are in the DC area. Pranav Kulkarni, you're in the DC area, right? Heat index is basically what the humidity makes it feel. Okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense. Our heat index here is quite warm. I've seen that a lot. Yeah, Flipper need to tap into their. I agree, Z. Yeah, I feel that way about a lot of palms. They need to tap into their. You know, palms used to live here. You know, why not? They need to start remembering that. And I wish we could grow a lot more species here. But you know what? We can grow species here, and that's something. I think it's a good place to start, honestly. I mean, DC's an interesting place, and I kind of think a DC in a climate like this is actually a good place to get my start in palm growing. I hope to move to a warm climate someday, but you know, it's sort of will make it all the more rewarding when I do move to a warm climate, which obviously I will at some point. Hopefully for college, I would love to, but yeah, I mean, it's a good place to start because it really tests me. You know, if I do something wrong, I kill my palms, and I don't want that. And I've done that this winter, unfortunately, through either I should have protected my camera ops, you know, not watering something enough, and then my trachea suffered. You know, it's sort of in these climates. Excuse me. In these climates, it's, you know, it really tests your knowledge. It makes me sort of have to learn a lot about at least how to cultivate hardy palms. And there's still so much I don't know. Protecting palms, which I never really do because I plant hardy species here, I know almost nothing about that. I have no idea. Like, I know generally I've seen videos about boxing and palms, but I really would need to watch a tutorial to do that. I've never, ever done that. I don't really understand how the lights work, like how it doesn't fry the foliage. I know it does sometimes, but anyways. Yeah, anyways, there's a lot of people in here. I really appreciate all you guys joining in, and I'm gonna get through your comments. I know I just like stand here and it's probably boring because you guys are just looking at the same palm over and over again, but I'm gonna walk around in just a second. Got Omicron in January, knocked me out. Yeah, I know, it affects everyone differently. I know several of my friends, not my personal friends, my parents' friends, who are, you know, they were older people, of course, but they, now several of them have passed away from this, so it's very sad. Just one a few weeks ago. It affects everyone differently, which is really the strange thing. I mean, it's like so unpredictable, and some people, all my classmates were fine. I thought I'd be fine, and then here I am, not like, you know, not able to move, but I feel okay now. I feel kind of fine now, besides coughing and stuff. But no, it was pretty serious. It's just, you know, it's a pretty serious sickness. Yeah. I'm sorry to hear that. That's crazy. Look at your garden shape and size. Makes me wonder if the claw. Huh. Yeah. You know, that's a good point. There are some beautiful ones that I've seen in the area. They're so insanely exotic looking, by the way. I would love to get one, and I bet they sell them locally. They're common enough in the gardens here that would make me think that a lot of the garden centers carry them. Trevor, by the way, I have some news for you and all the DC area palm people, of which there are, I think, a few on here. Pranav, I think you're in the DC area, if I remember correctly, which I'll tell you in just a second. I don't want to hold you guys in suspense, but I want to get through this. I love organic chemistry, but I was done. Got it. Yeah. Organic chemistry is interesting. I mean, it's all fascinating. I'm just not very good at it. Whenever the actual air temp hits 110 or higher here, it's just best just to leave. The heat indicates, oh my God, 140s. Is that really? Oh my God. Yeah, I gotta imagine people are like passing out there. How is it like possible that it's hotter there than like so much further south? I guess the Gulf Coast, the ocean cools it a bit, but you're like in like a heat bubble. Like somehow even in the colder areas like you compared to the south, like far south, you're hotter in warm months. It's crazy. I mean, you're 140s. That's hotter than the hottest temperature ever recorded. Obviously, that's the you're saying it's the heat index, but that's I can only imagine what that. I mean, it's just insane. Hate chemistry. I still need to do it again. Ah, yeah. Yeah, have fun, Palm Tree Dude. Yeah, no, it's not my favorite. But yeah, I bet you'll do. I bet you'll do well. I mean, that sounds like a fascinating course. One of my friends is addicted. Yeah, I know. Anyways, about the Capitals, that is sports here. I feel like if you're in like I don't know. I feel like people like there's bandwagons like LA, like Dodgers, Yankees, and stuff. But here in these like, I wouldn't call DC a small city. It's a massive city. But in like less, I don't know. I don't want to say less tourist oriented because DC is very tourist oriented. But it's like less of like a vacation spot. People here are very dedicated to the sports teams in ways that like bandwagon people in the big. I don't know. In New York, I guess, aren't. People are very dedicated to it here. Not me. I'm not particularly dedicated, but a lot of people are. Summers are quite. Oh my God. Yeah, Pranav. Summers here are boiling. Summer here, not like my friend Zach in Tennessee. No, Zach, your summers make our summers look like the Pacific Northwest or something. But we have, in my opinion, very very hot summers here, and they are very humid, very crazy. Like the tropics. Make good artists. College Park. Awesome. College Park. Got it. Yeah. So you're in College Park. Pranav, my Trevor is near College Park. You should you should get in touch with him. That's awesome. Two palm enthusiasts right in that area. That's awesome. I mean, it's amazing. There's a palm guy right in the neighborhood who I researched. I read about him. There's articles in the Washington Post about him. Then I went right over to his home. So, well, I went to his home. It sounds weird, but he's right in the neighborhood, and I went by his garden all the time. So I once stopped by and said hi, and he's a palm guy right in the neighborhood, and never really realized how crazy that is. That if you told me like a year ago there are palm people right in my neighborhood, I never would have believed it. It's crazy. What's your current temp? We're at 72, but high humidity. God, it was like 71 a second ago. It's got to be like 74 now. But something in the 70s, and yeah, very humid. I don't know the percentage though. High humidity, definitely. Yeah, I'll just say high humidity. 68, 89% humidity. Okay, got it. Yeah, Pranav, we're probably 72 is my guess. It was 71 at the beginning of the stream. It's toasty. See, as I walk towards the front, it just feels cooler. I don't understand it. I'm sure it's just me walking, but already it feels cooler here. Yeah, it still says like 71. Okay, so yeah, 71, and let's just say very humid. I don't know the percentage, but quite. The problem here is many people have no clue the climate is subtropical, therefore they don't grow palms. Yes, Palm Nation. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize it was subtropical. When I first met you, I thought of, I always knew palms would grow in Tennessee, but I didn't realize just how, I guess, really, I mean, it is subtropical. It's crazy. I never realized that. But yeah, no, our area is very under palm too. I mean, considering that we can grow any species, they should be all over here. They should be in garden centers. I mean, why is sable minor needle palms and trackies? Why are they not in garden centers everywhere here? They should be. They're very rare around here. Palm Nation's in Tennessee. I want to say Hardin County. Is it called Hardin County? It's somewhere just east of Memphis on the Mississippi border. I remember him saying, but yeah, he's in East Tennessee, just on the Mississippi border. Nice and warm climate. One of the warmest places in Tennessee, I bet. Hey, Virginia Fruit Girl, great to see you on here. I really appreciate you joining in. It means a lot, and it's so awesome to see you here. It's you have a great channel, by the way, and I've seen your recent videos and the new palms that you got. That's just awesome. So yeah, thanks for joining in. It's awesome to see you on here. I currently here with COVID, but I feeling okay. Palm Nation. You got to keep it PG, I guess. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's just say Palm Nation is somewhere in the south, somewhere in Tennessee. I stick with Pittsburgh teams since okay, yeah. My dad's from Cincinnati, so he'd be very offended to hear that. No, I'm kidding. But no, yeah, Pittsburgh. They would have a rivalry with the football, but obviously, but that's cool. 90 here, McNary County. Wow. Oh, that's where you are. You're in McNary County. Okay. That's. I don't understand how it's like 20 degrees warmer where you are. That's crazy. Are you sunny? I mean, that doesn't make that much of a difference, but it's like kind of been cloudy, rainy all weekend. It's what's gonna be. Oh yeah, Virginia fruit grower. I have. I'm very very lucky. I've had a lot of traveling recently, and it's pretty lucky. Excuse me. Pretty lucky if you ask me. And West Tennessee. Yeah, sorry, I said east. I went east of Memphis, west of West Tennessee. Yeah, exactly. That's really cool. Yeah, I've had some great travels recently, and my trip to LA. I mean, I had COVID, unfortunately, so I had to return. But I'm actually going back out, believe it or not, in a month because I have to redo. I'm part of an allergy program there. It's a long story, but yeah, it's an allergy program to cure your allergies. Basically, I mean, it sounds too good to be true, but it's this like new technology. There's no program like it on the East Coast apparently, and yeah, I'm very obviously grateful for that. It's been incredible. Um, it was warmer in Pittsburgh in the last few days than here. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, Pittsburgh is kind of like Cincinnati in terms of the climate. Maybe a little warmer. I don't know the elevation, but I would assume it's like maybe like zone 6B or something. But that's really cool. You can get away with needle palm and sable minor there certainly. Uh, yeah, palm tree dude. Same here. Yeah, we're so much warmer than Pittsburgh most of the year. Cloudy and 90. Wow, jeez, Palm Nation, you have some crazy weather where you are. It's just unbelievable. Tornadoes. I don't know if you have hurricanes. I would presume, but you got actually. Yeah, I remember you had the hurricane passing by. Was that right? I don't know. Anyways, you got tornadoes. You got crazy weather events. Crazy, temperature swings. Like insane summer heat and humidity. And it's not even summer yet. That's crazy. Probably colder. It's 6A, 6B. Okay, so it's the same as Cincinnati. Cincinnati 6A, 6B. We're 7A, 7B, so full zone warmer. 1 second, guys. Put my hat on. Not that I hate Pittsburgh, but yeah, exactly. Same here. You know what? I always think, I'd rather be in Virginia Beach, but I'd rather be here than Pittsburgh or somewhere like that. Although Cincinnati, I got to admit, is a pretty amazing city, and we've got palm YouTubers, several friends of mine. Cincinnati Tropics, he's of course, I would say, he's like the original Cincinnati palm YouTuber, and then we have Just Here for the Foliage, who started. Actually, no, I mean he started his channel pretty long ago too. Amazing channel, and all these people have great videos of palms and exotic plants in the Cincinnati area. Cincinnati Tropics, he's got amazing cacti, sable minor, needle palm, beautiful eucalyptus, which died back this winter and then is growing back like crazy. Looks amazing, and he's doing a great job of pushing the limits and introducing places like Cincinnati to all these amazing palms, which there are a few of. And I have a video. I go there to Cincinnati often. Before COVID, we went there every Christmas because I have family there. That's where my dad's from. So I have a long. So your Pittsburgh is my Cincinnati. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, basically for you, what Pittsburgh is like, what for me Cincinnati is basically. All my family, my dad's side is from there. My mom's family is from New Jersey, so that's why I have videos of palms from New Jersey. And it's amazing, both places that I go, which are both colder than here. The Jersey Shore is actually probably pretty similar to here, maybe more of a 7A, but it's also a little milder probably by the coast. It's really nice climate there. And it's amazing, both places that I go to visit family, even though they're colder, they've still got palms there. And I've got a video of a huge needle palm at Mount St. Joseph University in Cincinnati. Gorgeous videos of needle palms, trackies in New Jersey by the Jersey Shore. And then every place I go now, pretty much, I have contacts, I should say, not me personally, but, all you guys, people reach out to me, you want to ask if I want to get together or see their garden. It's really so nice. It's such a nice interconnected community of palm people. I really have enjoyed being part of it and interacting with so many people. Musa Baggio has exploded in popularity over the. Oh my God, Trevor. Yeah, I don't know, honestly. I don't remember, like 5 years ago, I knew nothing about about Palm's exotic plants. Whoa, car just speeding by. Anyways, but yeah, no, I don't know how it was 5 years ago, but now, I mean, Musabaju is everywhere. I always say if Musabaju were palms, not, no, that's a weird thing to say, but if you know, if palms were as common as Musabaju is, then palms would be very, very common here, like Virginia Beach, common. But yeah, because Musabaju is crazy common here. Now we have to make it. I know, exactly. Seriously. Oh, that's awesome, Trevor. I don't have any. I need to get some. I'm really sad. That's really cool. And seriously, we got to get palms in some garden centers. I was actually just about to open up a hardy palm. You know, I'm going to actually talk to you guys about this because I want to ask you guys some questions. You still live near Cincinnati? Oh, you told me that, Palm Tree. That's really cool. Yeah. Cincinnati's such a good city. Palm Nation. Sissy Tropics. Oh, he did. He blocked you? Huh, that's interesting. No reason. He blocked you personally? Huh. I'm sorry to hear about that. Well, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that. I don't know what that's for, but no, he's a good guy. He's an amazing channel, and I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, he's fantastic. His channels. I mean, the palms that he's shown and everything in Cincinnati are amazing. Labrador currently probably keeps coast. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It is nice and mild. The effect VA Beach a bit well. The effect VA Beach a bit as well. It stops. Yes, exactly. I agree. Wait, a bit as well. Are you saying that the effect of it being like that warm microclimate? Because the Outer Banks get super mild. Like you got Phoenix Canariensis out there, but yeah, no, Virginia Beach is nice and mild. Just got Orinoco banana, pretty much the same as. Yes. I think, was it Palm Nation that got one of those? Someone got one of those recently, or not recently, but they have one of those, and they're beautiful. That's really, really awesome, Z. Just got my first windmill palm here in NC. Oh, Randy Ramirez Bolanos. I don't think I've heard from you before. That's awesome. Thanks for joining in. I really appreciate it. And that's really cool. Yeah, North Carolina, great place for windmill palms. I'd say North Carolina is like the peak of windmill palms in the South. Where you are, Palm Nation, also obviously great area. I think that the upland South, like maybe even away from, like the coast isn't even as good. Like I'd say like inland North Carolina, Charlotte area, Raleigh, Durham, maybe Winston-Salem, maybe Columbia, and some of that sort of more Piedmont South. That's the best area for windmill palms in the South, in my opinion, and where you are, Palm Nation as well, because they just don't. I mean, where you are, Palm Nation, I don't actually know because you have crazy humidity, but like Charlotte, North Carolina is obviously extremely humid, but it's not nearly as humid and not as muggy and as, I guess, windblown as the coast. You know, the coast, you got all the salt spray. Windmill palms hate that. That's why they can look bad all the way down. Virginia Beach all the way to Florida, they can look bad, even though it's warm enough for them. They always do better. Like inland Virginia Beach trackies look way better than along the coast, where they look really beat up because they don't like that low elevation. They're from the high elevation mountains like the Pacific Northwest. They like cooler summers. Sables and needles do well here because we have hot, humid summers. They don't do as well in similar climates with cool summers. It's the opposite for trackies. I mean, trackies still do well here, but they prefer actually cooler summers like the Pacific Northwest, which is why they thrive there. And here they're not as along the coast, they don't like the humidity as much. It's a little cooler inland. That's why they like it. Sorry. Prefer Musa, Orinoco, Latino. Yeah. Palm Nation, excuse me. I know nothing about those bananas, but I've seen your pictures of them. I've seen other people's pictures of them, and they look very beautiful. I don't know, like, I know that there's obviously a difference in, like, the leaf structure. Leaves are thinner, leaves are longer. But unlike palms, which obviously the leaves vary a lot, I don't know much about how the leaves vary on bananas. It's interesting, but I'm terrible at IDing bananas. I know, like, Musa acuminata. I've seen some of those. There's, like, the bananas out in Los Angeles. Like, there's lots of them. I have no idea what species that is. I thought, like, some of them were acuminata, but I am not sure. Hardiness zone is Virginia Beach. Virginia Beach is zone 7, zone 8A, 8B. It's pretty much zone 8A, but it's really more of like it's marginal 8A, 8B. Great climate. I didn't know you could grow palms until last year. Wow. That's an awesome, yeah, that's like, it's so weird. I don't really remember how I found out palms can grow here. It was sort of like a gradual thing. It was, I guess you could say, kind of anticlimactic, but it wasn't like, oh my God, one day I went past the Smithsonian and I saw the trachea there and I was in awe. That would be, I wish that was like that, but I was always like amazed at palms. I remember when I went, the first experience I remember with palms was when I went to Orlando when I was like 4 or something. And I remember getting to the airport and I assumed they were like palmettos or something, but I remember just seeing the palms lining the drive at the airport and being just completely amazed and feeling like I was in heaven. And then going to like the hotel, and we went to Disney World, and they had palms everywhere, and I was just in absolute heaven. I remember looking up, and the same was true with LA, looking up and going, where are the coconuts? Where are the coconuts? And of course they weren't coconuts. Most palms in Orlando are not coconuts, certainly the ones in LA. I was looking at the washies and saying, where are the coconuts? But little did I know. Anyways, and then here my experience was like, I just sort of online just read about that there was palms growing at the Smithsonian, and I don't know, I guess I just, obviously I realized that it could grow here. It just sort of evolved over time. But like, I always sort of used to feel years ago, before I knew anything about palms really, that like if there was like a few palms growing in a place, then it didn't really matter. I'm like, if DC's only got a few palms, why do I, what, it's not as cool as like Virginia Beach, which where palms are everywhere. If you've got like one palm planted at one museum, that doesn't really, it's just not very cool because it's just one location. And I've sort of, I find that so stupid now. But that's like how I, when I was really young, I'm talking like really young, but that's sort of how I felt. And I just didn't really know much about it. But I was always fascinated by it. I would do research. I read about I would see, I watched like one of the first palm YouTubers I watched was, what's that guy from New York? He stopped making videos, but, oh, I forget his channel's name. He's from New York, and he's like an old palm YouTuber. Like started making videos like 10 years ago or 12 years ago, something at least. And I watched his videos. He had videos of the palms in DC, and there were like palms at the Air and Space Museum. And then I went to Google Maps, and I'm like, oh, they're not there anymore. What happened? And I would read like some of the blogs of palms in the DC area. There are blogs about DC area palms, like DC Tropics Blogspot. And I would always see that, and I was like, that's really cool. I just wish there were more here. Like, I wasn't like, they don't matter because they're not a lot here. It was just sort of more like, I just wish there were more here. It's kind of like, it made me sad there was only one palm, and literally I know that there were actually lots of palms scattered throughout the DC area. But over time, I just sort of read more and more, and then one day, this is what I can't remember. I don't remember if I brought the camera with me the first or second time, but one day I took a bike ride down all 12 miles or something from my house, and then 12 miles back. It's a long ride, but down the trail to the National Mall. And I went to the Air and Space Museum. I'd heard about the palms there. I was like, are they really still there? I remember the last pictures I'd seen were from like a year ago, and I was like, are they really still there? And sure enough, they were there. And I remember walking through, seeing the dwarf palmettos, seeing the needle palms, seeing the huge bananas, and then in the middle, I guess like the end of summer or something. So the bananas were obviously super tall. Musabaju, that is. And then I remember seeing that tracking and just being in awe. So I guess that's my awe story. So it was cool. I guess that's a cool experience. But I did sort of know about them previously, but then finally I actually just decided to go explore it. And I'm like, this is so cool. I actually wanted to make, I don't really remember how it worked. I don't remember if I had wanted to start a YouTube channel before, but I think like literally like the next weekend or something, I went right back down there with the bike. I brought my mom's phone, and I'm like, Mom, I need this just to film a video. And I brought it down and I filmed a video, and that was my very first YouTube video. You guys can check it out. It's called Palms in Washington, DC. And yeah, I remember that well. I think it was the second time there. So I think I went down once and I was amazed, and I didn't have any. That's actually definitely how it went, because obviously I didn't bring a camera with me or a phone the first time. I didn't have a phone. So I just went down and I checked it out. I'm like, this is so cool. And I remember at first, I don't know why, I just didn't like explain much about it. Like I told my parents obviously about about it, but I was like, I didn't really talk much about it, about what I had seen, the palms. I mean, not that it was like much of a topic of discussion, but over time it just sort of, became known that was my obsession, because I was sort of like, I was concealing it almost, that palms were my obsession. But that's a long story, but that's sort of my story for how I got into it. And then ever since then, I think I started filming. I filmed like 2 videos of some musabaju in the neighborhood, which also always amazed me. They still do, and I really want to get one. And Then I filmed a few videos down at the National Mall. A few months later, I took like a break, not like a break, but I just didn't know what to film. And then I went down, and then I went back to the Smithsonian. I think I did some update videos. I filmed some other plants down there, and I just kept filming. And then I'd drive by, and I'm like, oh my God, that house has a palm. And then I'd get out and I'd see it, and over time, it just expanded. And you won't believe how many, probably half of the palms I have videos of in the DC area I didn't know about beforehand. And I just was taking a walk, driving somewhere, and I just saw it. I mean, that's how many palms there are here. They're like semi-common here. It's like, it's so frustrating. Like, I wish they were more common, but you take a drive, there's a chance you'll spot a palm in some of the neighborhoods. They're not, it's not like every block there's a palm, but every so many number of blocks, there'll just be like a random house with a palm, like just one palm, not necessarily a palm enthusiast even, but that's, it's cool. I didn't, that's a very cool story, the GC5V. My bad. No, don't worry about it. I mean, the Labrador Current. Yes, exactly. Yes, the Labrador Current is, that's that draft that goes, I guess, does it come down the coast from Labrador, from eastern Canada? But yeah, that's what keeps it cooler. That's why the East Coast is so cold, pretty much. The same latitude as the West Coast, which is so much warmer. But yeah, it's amazing. That's exactly true, because Virginia Beach is literally so great because it's warmer, so much warmer. Like on the average day, it's like 10 to 12 degrees warmer than here in winter. And then it's also like cooler in at least spring and probably summer because it's by the beach. So that's just amazing. It's all around more pleasant. It's a great, amazing place. I was in awe. I do need to get back to Virginia Beach, and believe me, I will. I'll take you guys along. I think he didn't like. Oh, Palm Nation. Well, you've been known to do that in a joking way. No, I'm kidding. I'm just thinking of the kid Brennan who you trolled. That was that was funny. I don't even know what became of that guy. So they may be 65 and maybe 75 here. Yes. Got it. Yeah, that's what happens here. I always, on my weather app on my phone, I have 3 cities that I have the weather for, that I've basically installed. I have, those are my locations. If you open the weather app, it shows your location, which obviously is almost always here. So I just check that. And then I have Los Angeles and Virginia Beach. Those are the 2 other cities that I have. Los Angeles because I love it and I want to live there, and also because I go there every now and then, so I check the weather. Now I monitor that with like an obsession. I'm always monitoring it. And then Virginia Beach, obviously, is because it's close and it's excuse me, it's a good comparison point to have in winter to see just how much milder it is, and in summer too. And yeah, just this place I love. I also like Phoenix, Arizona a lot, by the way. I don't have that monitored, but that's an interesting city that maybe, that appeals to me, I'll say. Because it's really cool climate, beautiful. I went there, just drove through it to go to the airport, but really cool. And also they have these ancient ruins there, which is one of the things that utterly fascinates me. I love ancient history, and they actually have ancient Native American ruins that are 1,000 years old, close to 1,000 years old, or at least 700-800 years old, right in Phoenix and all around it. There are Native American ruins throughout the Southwest, and that's one of the things that fascinates me. And it's one, in my opinion, like the only thing that LA lacks, from my perspective, for what I'm interested in. Obviously, LA lacks and has a lot that maybe is less appealing. But yeah, that's sort of my opinion. Musa or Orinoco. Really interesting palm nation. Because most of Baju just seems to like grow anywhere like a weed, but interesting. And no bananas are evergreen where you are they? I mean, like if you wrap them, are they evergreen, or do they always die back? Hey, Scruffy. Scruffy's my brother, by the way. That's I'm not gonna say his name, but he's my brother. And yeah, someone thought it was me once, joining like my own live stream or something, because people know I made a video of my bearded dragon whose name is Scruffy. That's why it's called that. But that's my brother, so thank you. Yeah, good to see you on here. I have Orinoco, Valentina, and Ornata. That's awesome, Palm Nation. Wow, you got a diverse banana collection. You have a really cool palm exotic plant collection. I don't have any of those, so I'd love to get them. Live near Randy, that's awesome. Such a cool climate in Raleigh, and you can also probably plant palmetto. There's some big palmettos in the Raleigh area, so I wish I was in that climate. That's a really nice mild climate. Awesome. Great for trackies, by the way. Just imagine Monroe, Louisiana with the... Is that you? Monroe, Louisiana with the winters of Charlotte. Are you as mild as Charlotte? I guess you have palmettos and everything, so that's pretty darn cool. Yeah. Yeah, 8A, exactly, palm tree dude, yeah. With some, arguably, I think they're like a tad of 8B in Virginia Beach. You know, it's kind of borderline, especially as you go south. But Charlotte winters with got it, Palm Nation. Yeah, you have crazy weather. Cal, thanks. By the way, Cal, good to see you on here. I really appreciate you joining on. Amazing that Washingtonia can survive. Oh yeah, Cal, Washingtonia. It's amazing that the places in the south that you've seen them, that I've seen pictures of them growing that you would never expect. It's amazing. They're such cool palms. They're like, you know, on the one hand, they're so like, I wouldn't say weedy, but they're so prolific. I guess that's a kind way of putting it. Some gardeners would refer to them as weedy, but in their seeds, they're so prolific. But they also, you know, up in this, they're really, I mean, treasures up in like places like southern North Carolina, where like bad winters can knock them out. If you can get one to grow nice and big, that's a real treasure. If you grow Orinoco unprotected, like it's good indicator. Okay, got it. Good indicator of a subtropical climate. That's interesting. I wonder what I would do here. I had the same Orlando, Florida. Oh, wow. Trevor, that's awesome. Yeah, I was like I think it was 2011, so I was like 7, 6 or something. I don't know. I was very young. Yeah, it was something like that. I was probably like 6. Or no, I think it was 5. Yeah, I think it was 5. I don't remember when it was, but I think it was 5. I find it's funny how my latitude, all the countries outside the USA, and not counting China, are interesting. Is that right? That's an interesting fact. I didn't know that. Every country around the world. Also, there might be Pacific Island. No, there's not Pacific Island countries. I guess you're probably, obviously, yeah, what am I thinking? You're way north of Hawaii, obviously. So, yeah, no Pacific Islands where you are at your latitude. But that's very interesting. I never thought about that. Are the... Well, yeah, sorry, I don't actually know what I'm saying now. Yeah, you're that is very interesting. I never thought about that. I went through 2 months, FS22. Huh. You have corn? You grow corn? Wow, that's amazing. Wow, okay, got it. Trunks survive. That's crazy. Trunks do not survive here. That I've seen. I'm zone pushing with Washingtonia robust. Oh, awesome. DC, you know what? DC5V, you have an amazing climate, and I've seen pictures of some good-sized washies in Atlanta. Atlanta is amazing. People don't even realize palms grow there. A lot of the people that live there, but not only do they grow there, but they thrive there. Oh, look at this roots. Jeez, I gotta cover this up. But not only do they grow there, but it's amazing what I find people zone pushing with and getting away with there. You know, washies, all kinds of cool, obviously sagos, pindos, palmetto. I feel like maybe in like some species of date palm, maybe like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but people have zone pushed with some crazy stuff. That's really, really cool. That is totally one of the areas that I would try washi. It's like, that is really awesome. I love it. Yeah, curious. Exactly. Me too. Yeah. Awesome. Keep us updated. I want to hear about that. All right. Let me read that comment. Just like palms since I was really little and we went to Myrtle Beach. I was having some old pictures of me trying to get seeds. Wow, that's crazy. I never see the palms that I saw like when I went to LA are obviously way too big, so unfortunately I could never get the seed down. But I remember thinking like I want to get some coconuts down, but I was like, is it the wrong season? Are there no coconuts? But I didn't realize that like washies, and even then I realized the difference. Like I didn't realize like the difference between palmate and pinnate, but I would realize, like I would look at a Washingtonia, and obviously I would assume that it would, you know, all palm trees are the same, they're all coconuts. But I was like, this looks different from like a coconut. It looks less tropical. I mean, I was thinking that, you know, in a very vague sense. I was like, this doesn't look the same as the other ones that I've seen pictures of. But, you know, I thought they were all coconuts. What did I know? That's really funny though, palm tree dude. I've never been to Myrtle Beach, but that's a great climate. Again, awesome place to try Washingtonia. They're pretty long term there. At least Robusta Folifera, maybe. Filibuster, definitely. I planted Arconta Phoenix. Wow, Cal, you're in London. That's awesome. This year, and it's doing well in the the Scilly Isles. Oh my God, you're in the Scilly Isles. One is going well. Really? Wait, so are you in London or the Scilly Isles? Because the Scilly Isles are the mildest place in the UK, and that is like that is literally like a subtropical island. I mean, I would consider that to be a subtropical island. It is. I mean, it's like the thing is like sort of like Mediterranean, so it's hard to say, but the stuff that you grow that they can grow there. If you look at pictures of the, I mean, even the south coast of England and even London, but like south coast of England, Cornwall, you've got crazy big. And I was a silly a part of Cornwall, but mainland Cornwall. Like Ventnor Botanical Gardens, I know in the south of England, you've got huge, massive washies there and massive phoenix. But once you go down to the Isles of Scilly, to this one guy, he designed this botanic garden. I'm forgetting the name now. Tresco Abbey Gardens. It's this ancient medieval abbey, and it's like cool, like ruins and stuff. And this guy in the 1800s, he realized the area's mild climate and potential, and he planted a bunch of Phoenix canarensis and some other palms and exotic plants. And now those Phoenix canarensis are like the ones in LA. They're huge, like literally like the biggest you'll see in California, in not just, I mean, I mean, literally in England, in England, it's amazing. I mean, it's unreal. People think England's cold, wet, rainy, foggy, and mild. Maybe the Isles of Scilly are foggy, but they're none of the rest of those things. I mean, they're mild, but people think it's like, people think it's just cold, wet, and rainy. And it is, Isles of Scilly are certainly not that. That is incredible. Arconta Phoenix, I wonder how it would do in London. That's interesting. Isles of Scilly, I would try one because they have, I know they're obviously much less hardy, but they have big Nicao palms, which amaze me also. Rapella stylus sapida, from New Zealand, the Nicao palm. Big, beautiful Nicao palms, with those huge crown shafts at the Tresco Abbey Gardens. So yeah, look up Tresco Abbey Gardens, any of you. I mean, I sound like an old person. Look this up. But no, anyways. But yeah, if you look that up, I was amazed by those pictures. I could not believe the first time I saw that. I'm like, this is really England. It looks like the south of France or something, or like Italy. But huge Phoenix canarensis, pretty big washies. The washi just younger. That's why they're smaller, obviously. But and then in town they have big Phoenix. I mean, all of this southern England has got big Phoenix canarensis. London, South Coast. But nothing like that. None of them are really like mature, like huge, like in the Isles of Scilly. That's really cool, though. The latitude is 51 north. Okay, that's crazy. We're like 36 north here. That is insane. 51 north. I can't believe just that the palms are, I mean, it's just amazing how like the currents and everything make such a difference. Amazing, Cal. That's so cool. UK, I honestly, I mean, it's such a cool climate. I feel like it's so weird because like when I grow up, I want to just live in like the warmest climate, not like the tropics, but like a warm, dry climate, like LA kind of, or maybe even Phoenix, as I was mentioning. But I like UK is sort of like a midpoint, it's not like DC, but like the Isles of Scilly, most of it's pretty mild. Most of it's obviously like a colder climate, but still quite mild. It does fascinate me. It's just, I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily, I don't know, being myself, I would love to just one day live in a warmer climate, but the UK is somewhere that would interest me to live, certainly. It's just amazing what you can grow there. That's crazy. Going to Myrtle Beach. Oh, that's awesome. Yes, definitely get some videos, Palm Tree Jude. I want to see that. Those will get a lot of views, definitely. I know some of the locations of the washies. If you look up Washingtonia and Myrtle Beach, there's whole threads on it on Palm Talk. Lots of washies. That one of the golf places there, the mini golf, they have like 20 washies planted out. They're like 50 feet or something. They're huge. Yeah, there's definitely wild minor there, and the thing is, like, it's like this weird spot on the coast, like it's south of the northernmost palmetto population, but there's like people say there's no wild palmettos there anymore, but I wonder. They're north and south of there, but not there. Yeah, definitely, that'd be cool. I'm in London, but there are ones growing in the well. Okay, that's really cool. I can't believe they're actual Arconta Phoenix growing unprotected in the Isles of Scilly. I mean, that's, it just keeps amazing me. I mean, I know they're mild, but that's crazy. 2 Fahrenheit warmer. They're only 2 Fahrenheit warmer than you? But our summer, okay, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I guess that's the Mediterranean climate. I mean, even the coast of mainland Cornwall, you know, it's pretty dry. It's kind of Mediterranean. Freezes in central London, stay much warmer. Freezes in central London, stay much warmer than. Wow, got it. Yeah, the urban heat island in London, because it's so sprawling and such a big city, is one of the finest out there. That's really, really, yeah, it is honestly one of the best urban heat islands in the world. I gotta think like Manhattan would be good, but Manhattan's just a colder climate, obviously. I would imagine though, with all that concrete and stuff, plant a palm up against like the Empire State Building. Wonder how tracky would do there. Anyways, I'm gonna start walking around, guys, because I always do this. I sit around for like an hour, and then you guys are probably just bored out of your minds because I'm just showing the same thing. I'm really sorry. Okay, let me finish this. That's really cool though. We stay 27. That's crazy. Yeah, I wonder. Arcata Phoenix are very cold sensitive. Generally speaking, like even like Jacksonville, Florida, I don't even think they grow there, but that would be crazy. If you can get one through up there. Try Juan australis, rare species, thrives there, extremely tropical looking. There's a huge one in one of the botanic gardens near Dublin, Ireland, and they're also like considered the most sensitive palm in the world. That said, they're not sensitive where you are. That's like one of the only places that grow. They're from these subtropical. They're called the Juan Fernandez Islands off of Chile, and they literally like in North America, the only place they will grow is the San Francisco Bay Area, and like not even within the Bay Area, which is, by the way, apparently, so I'm told by Gary Gregg, the YouTuber from there, the second most diverse area for microclimates in the whole world. I think after the Cape of South Africa. I think the Cape of South Africa is the most, but literally only areas by the coast in the San Francisco, like the city of San Francisco, is the only place that Juan australis will grow. All attempts in Southern California failed. They like fog. They like cool summers, which UK has, obviously. They like mild winters, but they're hardy. So Dublin and where you are, they thrive. And there's some big. I've seen pictures of some nice ones in London. Jubea chilensis thrive there. There's big ones. Phoenix syriensis, Washingtonia butea, sables, palmetto, other species. Of course, trachys, Phoenix dactylifera, all species that do well in London. Really nice and mild there, and that's really lucky that you live there. That's awesome. Most people think it's rainy here, but it's, yeah. 40 inches is very high, but 22 is crazy low. We're like 30. What are we? We're like 34. I want to say we're 34 inches here, or 36, or 38. One of those numbers. I forget, but no, I think we're 35. I think we're 35 inches here, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but yeah, we're pretty mild. Pretty mild. We get a pretty we're a wet climate. We're not like rainforest. We're certainly not dry. We get a good amount of rain, I'll say, but that's really dry. Yeah. Yeah. No, considerable portions of the south of the UK. Not as rainy, but 40 inches is obviously very high, and you do have temperate rainforests in the UK. So, and like Ireland, the reputation is not entirely false, obviously, but it is that like you can't grow palms there. Certainly false, and yeah, there are dry places, parts of the UK, which is, I mean, it's such a cool place. I would love to, can't not wait. I went there once when I was really young. I really want to get back. I saw tons of palmettos. So London only averages 22 inches. I thought you were saying like southeast, like Cornwall. That's crazy. That's very little rain. That's like Mediterranean level rain. That's crazy. Wow. I saw tons of palmettos around Myrtle Beach that obviously were not planted, but I'm not sure that. Yeah, exactly. There was like a picture I saw of one in like the woods, like next to like a parking lot that I think they were saying was naturalized, but a lot of them are volunteers. They're kind of like washies in their ability to produce seedlings. They produce a lot. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about, palm tree. Maybe you were even the one who posted that, but it was on the Myrtle Beach. I don't even know what it's called. It's like the Myrtle Beach Exotics mega thread or something. I forget what it's called. But yeah, that I know exactly what you're talking about. There was a street view that someone put on there of one like in the woods, and the funny thing was like if I recall correctly, it was down the street from one of the abandoned parking lots where they have those huge washies. So, yes. Seeds of them are very hard to find. Of one of your australis. I got Nicaus. That's awesome. Yes, Nicaus grow really well there. Imagine if they lined streets with Nicaus there, with Nicau palms. Imagine if they did that. How crazy exotic it would look. Or with washies, for that matter of fact. That you could have a huge washi in London is unreal to me. I mean, it's crazy. I just wish they would do that. It's dry here, very cloudy. They have started planting some public Phoenix canariensis. There's someone from the London Natural History Museum, someone from one of the town halls near London, so that's good. Much better public palm planting than DC is, obviously because it's warmer and you can grow more palms. Dry here, very cloudy. Yes. 1,700 hours per year. Yeah, that's very, let me think about that. 1,700. 100 hours is like 5 days, I think. 1,770 is like 8 days. That's like 80 days a year. Is that right? That is pretty low, I guess. We get a good amount of sunshine here, but as you can see, we got like 5 days of rain in a row. Also pretty cloudy. I honestly love the cloudy weather. LA, you got May gray, June gloom. LA is a very cloudy city. People don't realize that, but LA is an incredibly cloudy city for a lot of the year, despite not getting much rain. It also gets a fair amount of rain in winter, but it just gets 0 rain in summer. Averages 0 inches for June, 0 for July, maybe 0 for August. So that's the problem. California still gets a fair amount of rain. It's just becoming more concentrated. As things are drying out, as things are warming, they're getting more rain or the same amount of rain in winter, and then just like no rain in summer. So that's what's killing all the forests there. And it is stark. A lot of the forests are dying out west generally. Very sad. It's dry here. Sorry. That's very cool though, Cal. That's awesome, and I love hearing from not only palm growers in other countries, but London is just. We got a good amount of time. That'll last me a while. You can just see my lens, terrible quality. I'm sorry, guys. What's your special news for? Oh, Trevor, I'm so sorry. Hollywood and Vines Nursery, which is the nursery in. I guess it's sort of like sad news, weird. I don't know. Hollywood's and Vines Nursery in Alexandria. Apparently, they changed their name in January. And I just called yesterday because I'm trying to see. I've never been there. I wanted to. I know they stopped selling the big trackies a few years ago, which obviously those are like $1,000. And I would never, I would not buy one of those because that's crazy expensive. But I remember they had like huge needle palm for what I thought were probably relatively reasonable prices. I really want to check it out. So I looked it up. It's called like the Garden Plot or something, I think. I looked up Hollywoods and Vines. I couldn't find it. And what came up was the Garden Plot. So they said they changed their name in January, which makes me think it's still the same nursery. I don't know if it changed ownership or what, but I called and asked if they had sold hardy palms, and they just said no. If they had any, they just said no. No, it's just like no, we don't sell that. But so that made me think like suddenly, that like they stopped selling them. But I've called in the past and people have been like very confused there. Like hardy palms, what does that mean? And then some people know immediately. They're like, we have needle palm, 3 gallon, blah blah blah, etc. But this was it was crazy because I don't know if they completely stopped. I guess I'll call back soon enough, but I don't know if the nursery's changed ownership or what. But it's I really hope they're still selling them because that's one of the last nurseries to sell them. Null's Produce. I think Trevor, you're the one who told me about that, right? This is all thanks to you, Trevor. I really I owe you a lot. I mean, for finding me this trackie. I mean, that's unbelievable. I can't believe it. I mean, you got me this. I really, really appreciate that. It's because of you that I found the nursery, and obviously that I got this trackie. It's my birthday gift, and it was just amazing. Really great, great palm, and so nice and big. I still can't believe it. I have a huge trackie in my backyard. That's pretty awesome. And even with it suffered obviously in the pot, but it's on the mend and it's flowering. I gotta get it some. I gotta get it some male pollen, I guess. I know some sources. I'll try to find some. That's the news, though. That's the news. So, yeah, if you guys can do some research, try to find out. Also, Trevor, sorry, one more thing. Sorry, I was taking a sip of water. Trevor, the last thing I was gonna say, which is, I remember you were, what was I gonna say? You went to the Botanic Garden after me, and I made that video. I thought it was like, it said like Tragicarbus wagnerianus, and I think you're one of the people saying it looks like a Fortunae, which I think it is. And I don't know if you saw, but there was a big Trachy wagnerianus in Sorry, let me respond to your comment first. Weird, the trachea I got from Hollywoods and Vines did extremely well. So much so that I'm not sure. Really? Wait, you think it might be like a take heel or something? That's crazy. Yeah, I mean they have such a good reputation. That is like the palm place for the DC area. Really weird. So yeah, try to find out. Help me do some research, and let's see if they actually stop selling palms altogether, because that'd be really sad. But they changed I can't believe they changed their name and everything. That's an iconic place for DC area palm growers. Anyways, in the meantime, I was gonna say that courtyard, that sheltered outdoor courtyard that's surrounded by the Botanic Garden, where there's that big Fortunae. You know that big Fortunae? It might be a hybrid. Okay, yeah, maybe. Interesting. Very fascinating. That's I mean, they have a good reputation, so maybe they're getting their seeds from like, top-notch places. Could be Bulgaria also. Anyways, what I was gonna say was that trachea that was inside that shelter courtyard, it definitely is a Fortuna, I think. But the reason I thought it was a waggy is because they had this gorgeous waggy in that sheltered courtyard, growing outdoors, unprotected. Grew for many years, and it was like this big, maybe bigger. It was mature, and it had these gorgeous mature Trichoceros wagnerianus fronds, and it was the only waggy that I know of in the DC area. I got my tiny one here, but and then suddenly I went back there, and they're doing renovations there. They put like a play area in, and I'm like, okay, well, thank God they still have the trachea there, but it looks like they just replaced it with a Fortunae. And obviously, if it was a Fortunae being replaced with a Fortunae, I wouldn't mind so much. But that's the only mature waggy that I know of in the DC area. So I was like really worried. Like, did they just rip that trachea out and then put a new trachea in? Because if they ripped out a mature waggy that had been there for years unprotected, I mean, that's a lot of growing, and it was a pretty special palm that I'd never actually seen in person, and I'd always wanted to. So I was wondering, and I'm going to ask on Facebook, see if anyone responds and try to get an answer, but I'm trying to find out if the museum either chopped down the palm and just removed it, which would be really weird, because then they just replaced it with another trachea in the exact same spot, or if, I don't know, I mean, I guess the only other option is like they moved it somewhere else, which is, I guess, a possibility. They moved the Smithsonian, the Aerospace Museum trachea, maybe they moved that, so I'm just praying they moved it somewhere, but I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but there used to be a waggy there, and then that indoor courtyard, they remodeled it. But there's still a trachea in the exact same spot, but it definitely looks like a Fortunae, not the same palm. So very, very weird. Might have ripped it out. They did. Wait, by the administration building? Are you saying the administration building in Bartoldi Park? Like that little triangle-shaped park across the street with the fountain? Because they had a huge sable minor there, with seedlings everywhere. I hope you're not talking about that. Because, yeah, no, they also ripped out, really weirdly, they also ripped out a trachea and sable minor by the side of the garden by the Capitol, like the side facing the U.S. Capitol. They have like two little tracheas there. They used to have a bigger trachea there, which I thought maybe it died, except that they also had a sable minor there, which they moved out. They have a weird habit of, I guess, just like ripping out palms and then putting the exact same palm in there, but just a younger specimen that's not been there and it's not established. And also, yeah, I mean, if it was just a Fortunae they took out and replaced with another Fortunae, again, I wouldn't feel as strongly, I guess, but I'd be pretty upset, or just not, I'm not pleased if they removed a mature Wagnerianus. I mean, do you know how tricky it is to get a mature waggy here in the DC area? I mean, that's extremely valuable, not valuable in money, but valuable to us. I mean, that'd be very sad. I hope they didn't do that, but yeah, it sounds like they might. Oh no. When you say the ceilings, because there are ceilings everywhere, like they have them under the palm, they have them by the building. You're saying that the ones by the building? That really sucks. Wow. They did that at the Air and Space Museum too. They rip out all the seedlings and they start cutting off the flower stalks. It's like, I don't get it. You guys want the palms there, but you only want them in like a certain area. Like, you don't want them naturalizing under the palms you already planted. This is like really weird. I didn't understand it. That just sucks. As I always say, the biggest threat to palms in cold climates is humans. And I mean, it's true in warm climates too, but in warm climates, you just have a lot more to replace them. Here, we don't. I mean, it's crazy. Jeez, look at this thing. So anyways, this is a new pad I just got. It's just another Apunchi Humifusa, but it's a huge one. And I got it from the, excuse me. I got it from the, big patch down the road, and putting out a lot of new pads here, and same here. So that's really exciting. You can see all the new pads emerging there. They emerge with these little hairy looking things. Those are sort of like the coverings for the like they're basically like spine coverings, and then they sort of fall off as they emerge. And yeah, very cool. So this is prickly pear emerging season, and this is a Punchihima eastern prickly pear, beautiful species and a native species also. A bunch of Macrorrhiza here, plains prickly pear, a bunch of Fragilis, brittle prickly pear, and a bunch of Elysiana, spineless prickly pear. That thing is not putting it on any pads yet, but hopefully it will this season. So that's the story. Let's go over this way. I don't really have much to go because obviously I have COVID. I don't want to go out and about, but Sago's doing awesome. Took this thing out a few weeks ago. My mom's the one who bought this, but it's I guess, you know, it's a great addition. It's really beautiful. The other by the way, palm thing that I didn't mention that got me interested also was when we took a trip to Italy. Actually, believe it or not, there's tons of palms there. Most of them are like washies. We saw washies and dates are the most common there, everywhere, and Phoenix also. Any Phoenix species, I mean, like Phoenix canarensis, Phoenix, what's it, Phoenix dactylifera. But went to Italy, and like when I got back, and I was like, it was also in the times I was also doing my LA trips. I was just like, I have to get, I was like, I gotta get something that resembles a palm. So I guess I never even thought about this, but like the first palm-like plant I bought a Dracaena. You know, Dracaena, like the dragon trees. Because I'm like, I need something that looks like a palm. And it didn't look like a palm, really. A little bit, I guess. But eventually, I think I just like gave it away or something. I'm like, this is not a palm. And I was looking everywhere, and then finally we got this Sago, and I was like, this is cool. Because I just wanted something to replicate a palm. Like something to look like a palm at all. And, you know, just to remind me in this warm climate. So little did I know, not only I didn't need to be reminded of warm climates, I could create that for myself. So that's pretty darn cool. Obviously that we can grow palms here. These things are crazy. I don't know what these are, but huge plants. That's where I'm staying, down in the basement. I'm isolating, obviously, because of COVID. It's a clematis here. Nice flower plant climbing all the way up here. It's pretty darn cool. Like that grew all the way through. Sorry, let me see that. It's like painting a masterpiece. Exactly, Trevor. Yeah, I know. Seriously, like they should be celebrating that. Like, and the palms were like naturalizing perfectly. Like one popped up right in one of the little areas right next to the building that was like, it looked like it had been planted, but it was clearly naturalized. But I don't know why they would do that. So, are you telling me they ripped the ones out right next to the building? Like, because there was some like under like I think it was like a big holly tree right next to the building, but it just really sucks. Or was it like there was like one in front of the building? They ripped out a lot of them because I remember that there were literally ceilings like 30 feet away down like the sidewalk. But yeah, I really hope they didn't rip that waggy out. That would really make me mad. I mean, the worst thing is like when a palm's just doing healthy and then you rip it out. Like, it's one thing to have a palm die from cold or from anything. Very sad, obviously. To have it die because of humans just carelessness, and I don't know what to call it, but that's just the worst. I mean, to know that a palm could have thrived so many more years. Like there was a big trachea in Trenton at the courthouse there, and yeah, just completely ripped out. And that is just like, that thing could have thrived so many more years. And then it's like people, I don't know who, maybe the gardeners just totally ripped it out, and it just really makes me mad. It just sucks because like that was like a really special palm. Just like they call it the northernmost unprotected big trachea. Trenton, New Jersey. I mean, that's no warm area, but it was huge, like as big as, you know, probably like 15 feet at least. Just tragic. Hi, I got 2 tracheas in Finland. They survived the winter with some protection. There's some purple. Really? No protection in Finland? Jeez, is that right? Wow, that's crazy. Let me ask you something. You know that area, can you grow palms like in like Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania? Because I don't know if you're like, because I would assume you're north of there, but I always thought it was way too cold there. And you know that area of Russia? So I don't even mention Russia. Obviously, Russia's a bit of a hot topic right now. But you know that area of Russia that's not connected to Russia, but that's like on the Baltic Sea? It's the Baltic Sea? Yeah, I think it's the Baltic Sea. That's like on the Baltic Sea just south of It's Lithuania, one of the countries there, one of the Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. It's just south of there. Do you know that little part of Russia? Could you grow palms there, like along that Baltic coast? Because I never thought you could have grown them unprotected in Finland. That's impressive. That's awesome. I'm sorry, I'm going to get to your question. No spear pole, but the spears are... Oh, okay. Okay, well, let's see what people said. Finland, that's 60 north. Southern Temp. Minus 20 Celsius. That sounds like here a little bit. What is minus 20 Celsius? I don't know what minus 20 Celsius is, but that's crazy, though. That's crazy far north. The pads look great. I'm on the lookout for Elysiana. Oh, yeah. No, you spelled it completely right. And I got it from, like, I was so lucky because I was walking by this patch, and there was, like, a pad that had fallen off. Like, it was on the ground, like, in perfect condition. It had clearly just fallen off. It would have, like, I mean, I don't think it would have rooted it in. It probably would have just rotted by itself. So I just picked it up, and I took it because, like, it's like I didn't break it off someone's plant. I'd feel bad about doing that. But it was just, like, sitting on the ground because it clearly just fallen. All right, my phone's going to go down soon. So, well, yeah, I'd say give those spears a good tug, Maple. And I don't know. I mean, if they're really not pulling, then leave them, obviously. And I'm sure they should grow, I mean, at some point. Maybe hydrogen peroxide. I don't know what. Yeah, I mean, I would say maybe hydrogen peroxide. I don't know how that works with if the spear's still in there. But yeah, I don't know. Keep us updated. That's what I'll say. But if it's green, that's a good sign. If there's green fronds. Thanks, Trevor. Yeah, they're doing well. Just planted my first Apuntia. Spineless prickly pear, awesome. Awesome, Eucalurus, great species. They like naturalize here. Those things are like weeds here. They're awesome. Wow, pretty cold there sometimes. If they inside of palm rotting, other fronds will. Yes, DC. Oh, totally. DC is cold. We're 7A, zone 7A, 7B. London's got to be like zone 8. I would think London's zone 8B. But zone 8B, 9A, maybe even. Yeah, no, it is cold here, and yes, exactly. Other fronds will dry out, and sometimes they'll stay green. That's what happens to me. Yeah, they dry out here. That's the worst look when a palm of those like dried out fronds. I hate that, but no, it's what happens, I guess. And you know, our winters here aren't mild, but trachys here are they're marginal. Yeah, they're hit or miss kind of here. They grow well here for a number of years. Bad winters can take them out. Some survive the bad winters, and some make it to maturity and beyond. You know, some like that big 30-foot one I made a video of just thrive despite those winters. So, you know, they're not always knocked out by a bad winter. That's what people got to understand. They're like marginal, but like a little harder than marginal. They're marginal, but like, you know, even in those bad winters, some make it, which is impressive. Sorry, just blowing my nose. It's yeah, COVID makes your nose run, at least for me, a lot. It's not fun. All the seedlings are gone, both in front of the building. Oh God. On the bright side, little desert garden. That's good, Trevor. That is one of my favorite gardens. I love that desert garden. They got everything: agave americana, lots of cacti, yucca, everything. By the way, Trevor, have you seen a desert garden at the zoo? That is an insane garden. That is one of the coolest gardens I've seen in DC. Like crazy cholla, apuntia, everything. They've got so many cool cacti there, as well as giant yucca, a lot of all sorts of species that are very rare here and that thrive here. It's awesome. And also apparently someone told me that they saw like 15 or 20 years ago some big neglecta, Eucalyptus neglecta at the zoo, like 20 foot. Now, I don't know if those are still there, but that'd also be pretty cool. I would love to know. No, I got low protection. Yes, it's Kaliningrad. Yeah, it's at Lithuania. Yeah, because it is Lithuania, Poland. I know people growing palms in Estonia and some of the islands. Huh, at best 7A. Okay, so 7A, yeah, you can get away probably stable minor needle, maybe trachy. Interesting. I covered them with freeze blanket. Okay, got it. Yeah, I was going to say Finland. I mean, that's quite cold. Some serious zone pushing, but I love it. I love that you're doing that. Maple, you're probably one of the, I mean, you are probably one of the only palm growers in Finland. That's probably true, which is awesome. I love that you're spreading the palm love there. I just love that. So I should have charged my phone must have not been fully charged before. Gone on for 113. I guess that means 113 minutes. Huh, I don't know how long that is. That's probably a long time. I guess that's close to 2 hours, yeah. Have you heard of Urgerona punches? No, I have never. That's really cool. Yes, I know that species, and in fact, I think I saw one recently. Where did I see it? I don't even remember where, but that is really cool, and I know that species exactly. I've never grown it, but do you grow one, Cal? Because in the UK, there's some huge cacti and huge agave. I couldn't believe it, especially in the South Coast. Not yet. Haven't been to the zoo since the beginning. Yes, I went right when it first opened. Excuse me. I've been twice, I think, and I have to live stream from there even. There's a huge trachea there, by the way, which is amazing. One of the most beautiful tracheas I've seen. About this tall, probably about at least, I mean, probably nearing 10 feet, maybe maybe it's like 8 feet actually. But I think it's one of the, I forgot what it's called, but it's got like the fronds that droop at the end. So it's like one of those Fortunae, like not like mine. Not like the opposite of Bulgaria, I know, with drooping at the end. Gorgeous trachea. The thing that I don't like, it's weird, like it's like cool, but I also don't really like it, is that they put a lot of annual palms. Like they put Camarops, Sagos, and Chinese fan palms in, all of which, by the way, would be interesting to test here. All of which are like marginal to surviving here with a bit of protection. But they're like annuals, so it's sort of, I feel like it takes away from the value of the trachea when you surround it with tropical, why not talking about tropical, when you surround it with annual palms that they just rip out in winter. But either way, it's super cool, and they have some needle palms there too, as well as, I feel like they have something else. Oh yeah, they have some other tracheas they look kind of beat up because they're literally in the gorilla enclosure. Is it the gorilla? It's one of the ape enclosures, and the apes like step on them, so they're kind of beat up, I think. But yeah, they've got some cool plants there, and obviously the desert is amazing, the desert garden. I would love to see that. Oh, the trachea, yes, exactly. Yeah, it's the is there one with the orangutan? Is that it? They had like a Bismarckia there as well. They had like over the summer tons of annual palms planted there. I'm not a fan of the whole annual palm planting. I say if you plant a palm, try it through winter. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of like planting queen palms at the beach in summer, in like Ocean City. I mean, in Ocean City, the worst way when they do is when they kill them in winter. I'd rather you plant them, dig them up, and then replant them. But I always found it kind of cheesy, you know, planting like a queen palm on like the beach in Maryland. It just doesn't go well, you know. At least try to protect it if you're going to plant it there. I'm not a huge fan of the whole annual planting thing. I think you got to plant them. Yes, yeah, definitely go. There's required passes. You got to like book them online through the Smithsonian, but you got to like get an entry pass. They're free. It's free to go. Obviously, Smithsonian, so it's awesome. I have one. It's only about 1 foot tall, but it's growing well. Oh, Cal, it's awesome. Okay, yeah. London, great climate. So many cacti you can grow there. Same with here. I mean, honestly, we can grow lots of cacti that I need to try. Were you referring to the desert garden by the small mammal? Yes, I think that's the one. It's by like that old brick building, one of the old brick buildings. I think it might be the small mammal house. It's crazy. So cool. Sooner it's going to end it for me. But yeah, let's wait till we're at like 1%. We can keep going. Yeah, is there anything else I want to talk about before the end? I don't know. I never have an agenda with these. I just want to hear from you guys, hear what you guys have to say, get your thoughts. This stuff I got to cut off soon. This is just totally, thankfully it hasn't, like, you know, the browning has not spread at all since like it was suffering. It's really like stayed nice and green here. So that's a good sign, but I am gonna have to probably cut this off. I could do like a cut here and cut like the brown off and make like a sort of cool shape at the frond. This frond, thankfully though, is still nice and green, but no, I mean, if I cut these off, it's gonna look very, very bare. So I'm gonna leave them on for a little bit, but you know, it doesn't look too good with the brown fronds on. And it's not big enough to form a skirt. These leaves go all the way down to the ground. So, yeah, when I first bought it with the full crown, it looked great. Hopefully by the end of the growing season, it'll look like that again, or at least somewhat like it. The time, because my phone, I think, is about to die. But yeah, let me know. I always love hearing from you guys. So yeah, here's my take here. Oh, look at this thing. Gorgeous. Look at these little way the fronds come together. Just spectacular palm. Amazing, and it's done so well. What a fantastic palm. That's a palm that I think might be longer term here. And imagine if they planted the streets with that. That would be so cool if you could just like plant. You know, like when I say planting streets, I like, you know, in those little like portions of dirt between the sidewalk and the street, you know, like where they plant trees, obviously. Line the streets with trackies. Line them with tequils. I would love to see how a tequil does in like 2014 here. I mean, this very well, if it is like legitimately 3 degrees warmer, 3 degrees hardier, I mean, then Trichycaris fortunei, this could be a pretty long-term palm here. I mean, Trichycaris fortunei, all things considered, is a pretty long-term palm here. I mean, if you can get like, you know, we've got several in the area that are, you know, 20 some odd years old or more, that without protection, that I consider that pretty long-term, but obviously they are on the marginal side of things. I would love to see a tequil planted here on like lots of public plantings, but they're just so rare. I gotta get more. Gotta get more tequil from down in more tequils from down in Pogo Palms. Exactly, Trevor. And it's just, I mean, it's amazing. I don't know if you've seen Cincy Tropics. He's got these crazy cacti. Sandor's got this amazing hedgehog cactus. I mean, imagine if you took every cactus species that grows here, which has got to be like, I don't know. I would think it'd be like, you know, in the tens certainly. Like, I don't know. Maybe there's got to be like 30 cactus species that grow here at least, considering all the Apuntia species, all the other ones. Choya, you know, beryl. I don't know if any beryl species grow here, hedgehog and everything. I would really love to see them all together, like a mature garden of cacti that grow here. There's a house near Chevy Chase Circle, which is, there's some palms down there, which is like a Southwest style house. They got a sable minor planted in front. They have like a potted trachea. This is literally, I mean, there are literally like 4 palm people literally in my neighborhood, which is crazy. And they have like a bunch of choya and stuff planted in front. So, but they're all young. They're really young, but young cacti, but clearly an enthusiast. All right, we're just over 2 hours, so I'm gonna end it soon. I think you might be able to get away with a tequil, a north-facing wall. Isn't your tequil facing? My tequil is facing north, exactly. So this is a north-facing wall. This is north is that way, and yeah, that's back of my house here, and then yeah, got hemlocks there. It's also nice and protected. You got wall. That's a south-facing wall. That's why I have my trachea there. It's not insulated, obviously, because it's not like a house wall, but, you know, second best thing, and also it's got a lot of growing to do before it gets over there, so helps provide a little bit of wind protection. This wall here certainly provides some wind protection, so yeah, it's not bad. It's good. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm gonna read through this. You probably can keep though, as you can just. Yes, that's what people do. They get coconuts, queens, palmettos trucked up from Florida. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know, exactly. I'm trying to get. Just only grow 3 fronds a year because average summer high temp is only. Got it. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's. You see, the summers in the UK are just so pleasant. Honestly, our summers here are really nice. Really steamy, I'll say. They're not that bad, but I mean, they're hot. They're really hot. Just about 3 fronds. Yeah, we only grow a few fronds. This track like 1 or 2 because it was stunted, so. I love the Spanish Revival house. Yeah, that's it. Trevor, it's one of those streets just east of Chevy Chase Circle, like it's either Garfield or one of those. It's not Garfield. Is it Garfield? I don't know what it's called, but it's I will leave it here. Here's what you do. Leave a comment on one of my videos, and I will give you the Google Maps link to it. Because I know, yeah, that is the house. You know it exactly. That I didn't mention the most famous part, which is those crazy musabaji. But you know the house. That's it. Anyways, guys, sorry, Trevor, I will. I'll leave a link to that. It's a really crazy house. But anyways, I will talk to you guys soon, and I really appreciate all you guys joining in. I'm going to end it here. Just going to go charge it, but I really appreciate all you joining in. You guys, it means a lot that you take some of your time to join in the live stream. It's a lot of fun, and I know it's not the greatest location. I always like going places like the National Mall. So much fun to live stream from there with all the palms, but I'll do that soon enough once COVID is done. DC5V, I really appreciate that. It was awesome having you here, and that means a lot. Thank you so much. And that said, I won't keep any. No. Keeping me. I did the live stream because I want to hear from you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day as well, and take care, folks. All right. I hope you guys enjoy. And I'll end it with a shot of the flowering fortunei. All right, take care, folks.